Welcome everyone to another session of the Half-Rate Heroes game. Thanks for checking us out today. So, our adventure, quick reminder to everyone to please go ahead and press that follow button wherever it is. Go onto our YouTube, follow us and subscribe to us there. We do stream our games on YouTube live as well as here, and check out our Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. So, our heroes, they've just met an old flame of Taslin's. She is apparently on the hunt for a very dangerous and very deadly tree blight, which is a little bit more advanced than your average tree blight. She has this task, and the party have dutifully, wonderfully, decided that they will help her out, since there's probably no hope of her succeeding by herself. Her plan is a little extreme, and as Kale has discovered, probably not going to work exactly as she plans. Her plan is simple, though difficult to achieve. Go to the material plane, find the material plane version of this tree blight, and impale it with a wooden stake covered with a vampire's blood. That should keep the material plane version of this tree blight in place while we go hunt down the Feywild version. Draw the Feywild version to the same alternate location as the material plane version of the tree and kill it there. The reason why the two halves must be joined together is because they are immortal and immune to all forms of damage until that happens. Unfortunately, it was Kale's discovery at the end of last session that the luring of the tree to the location is going to be a little bit harder than it looks. They still need to do it. It's going to be more difficult. So we rejoin the adventure with our heroes in the High Moors, a swamp-like land, but encroaching upon and getting close to the material plane version of this fetid and wretched tree. It is a couple hundred feet ahead of the party right now, unaware of their presence as far as they're aware, and the party need to decide what and how they are going to do what they do. So, once again, joined by Raziel, Taslin's ex. What are you guys doing?
Right, so we gotta stake that thing. Is that going to be difficult?
Oh yeah, she's got an accent there. Yeah, I expect that it will be a little tricky because the thing cannot be harmed, but we need to impale it with a stake. So.
Right. Well, you're the mastermind behind this plan. How would you have done it if we hadn't rolled up on you?
Well, I was planning that we could get close enough to it that it would try to eat the steak, or one of us. Yeah.
I'll volunteer.
Yes.
And
there we go. Perfect.
And as for the staking of this tree, is there a specific location on this tree we have to stake it?
We just need to get the tree to begin to feast on this blood, and that will keep it in place for a time. Yeah.
All right. Nos, if you want to do it, I can cast a invisibility spell on you.
We want it to see me because we want me to be eaten. Yes.
Yeah. We need you to be engulfed and then get out.
Can do.
Oh, right, because you got that fancy cape that'll let you escape from that situation.
Bingo, bango.
A very thoughtful gift from Kale.
It seems like you guys are perfectly placed to help me with my quest.
What a coincidence. It's divinely ordained, you might say.
Yeah. So, are we ready? Are we just going to... she'll walk over to Nos and hand you this stake. It's about 2 foot long. It's a nice thick piece of wood. And one end is just drenched. Well, it's dried, but it's covered in a thick layer of black blood.
Awesome. All right, we just waiting on me now? What are you guys going to do when I get out? Are we going to, like, run? Or are we just going to meet you back here?
Well, we need to go to the Feywild, right?
Yeah.
Sidebar, do I know if there's a portal nearby?
What's your range on that? I think it's a mile.
Yeah, it was either a mile or something.
As of right now, there is nothing. Yeah, it's a little bit outside of a mile.
Okay. I will ask Raziel, how are you planning on transporting yourself to the Feywild?
I was found the tree. I was going to scout the area to find a passage, see if there's one nearby.
Okay. I can help with that, but my concern is, how long is this stake going to last? How long is it going to keep this tree in place?
I don't know. Weeks, months. It should give us enough time to... enough time.
Well, as I'm sure you know, time in the Feywild is a little bit different than it is here.
True.
It may behoove us.
Is it possible to banish the tree back to the Feywild, or at least a portion of it, forcing it to exist on one plane?
Well, I imagine not, because it exists on both, so you can banish it, but,
The portion that we could banish it, but the portion that we banish would return to the material, to the plane that we banished it from, when the banishment ends.
Because that portion of it is from here.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Never mind that then. It might be a good idea to leave someone here to watch over the tree.
However, you do bring up an interesting idea that I didn't think about. What if you were to plane shift the tree?
That's what I was getting at. Because it is then forced to find its own way back to the material plane.
Well, where would we plane shift it to? I don't know that I feel comfortable dumping this problem on someone else.
What about the elemental plane of fire?
Can you shift something to a specific location?
I could use the spell to banish an unwilling creature to another plane.
The plane shift stuff?
It is transported to a random location to the plane or existence I specify.
Then that might not work. I thought if we could maybe send it to a very specific location, then we should be. Then it would make getting the two together easier.
Destination. Yeah, you can target a specific destination, I believe. At least in the prayer that I know. I could say I want to go to the city of Brass, for instance.
Yes. Out of character, mechanically speaking, the plane shift spell, you can do it with yourselves to a very specific location. When you banish another creature, an unwilling creature, it's a random location. Right. If, however, you can convince the tree to be willing, problem solved.
How about your suggestion?
Do I get a sense that this tree is very charismatic? I'm kidding.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. That's 9 plus 2, 11.
That's a sexy tree.
Yeah, the elf part of me is showing.
That's going to be quite a charismatic thing. It's not impossible, but difficult.
I'm just concerned. How are we gonna know? Say we find the tree in the Feywild, and then we make it back, and it's been months, and the tree here has moved on, and we didn't leave anybody behind to track it. It would probably be difficult to find it again. Although it can't move very fast, can it? It's kind of a whole. It's a whole ass tree. It's not just gonna get up and fly away. And it doesn't really sneak anywhere. Alright, this plan's fine.
Let's say it does take months. That is a chance that it has killed and blighted other creatures in the area.
That's true. It's possible we may be able to find some help in the Feywild that could potentially control the amount of time we spent there.
If it's a sentient being, wouldn't your suggestions work?
I could try. Can it?
Would you suggest that it wants to go to?
If I make it sound reasonable enough. But if it Raziel, can it move itself to another plane of existence?
I've not seen it able to travel more than laterally on a plane. I've not seen it travel to different planes.
Can you even speak to it? Does it understand languages? I don't know any prayers that allow me to speak with plants.
I believe it is still considered a plant, so there are methods to commune with nature.
Is it considered a plant creature?
Yeah.
Okay, then I could communicate with it. I just got to get up there and touch it.
So, just so I can get.
Nos.
Oh, sorry, Nos. Let me say something.
Huh? What? No?
No.
Huh?
I was just saying that maybe you and Nos could go while you touch the tree and talk to it. Maybe Nos can get inside with the stake.
Okay.
So I just want to understand the end game here. All right, we're gonna talk to the tree, befriend it, so that we can teleport it somewhere with us. And that place is the plane of fire somewhere. Is that right? Is that?
Could be wherever we want it to be. It could be the plane of fire. It could be the Feywild, in which case both of its halves will be in the same plane of existence, and it may be vulnerable.
Well, like if we all go to the plane of fire, for example, we're probably not going to be somewhere that's lethal, right?
I mean, we could drop this thing in the middle of the sea of fire.
Well, all right. We all go together to one place that's not lethal, so we don't die, right?
Right.
So then we have to convince it to kill itself. Is that? Or we stake it, and then we're in the same problem that we're here right here. So it sounds like we might be just overcomplicating it by doing that somewhere else.
And also, isn't it? It's impervious to all damage while it's not co-located between the Feywild and the material, and also the inner planes are kind of separate from the material in the Feywild. So, like, the Feywild is kind of closer, as we know, to the material. So our options really are probably limited to either the material, the Shadowfell, or the Feywild.
So if we put this thing on the Feywild, it can be damaged because both pieces are there?
The theory is they have to be co-located in the same geographic location, if not in the same plane. If they were both on the same plane, that we'd probably still have to get them together, and at that point we'd be fighting two of them at the same time, which seems risky, or riskier anyway. I say just stake it, and we can just go on to the Feywild like was planned, or suggested anyway.
Well, either way, I'd like to speak with it first if I could, just to, just cause it'd be cool.
All right, step 1, protect Kale. Step 2, get eaten. Step 3, poop out. Did I get that?
Yep. Yes. And I can distract it maybe while you sneak around it somehow. I don't know how its senses work.
We want it to see me.
Right, yeah, that's right. We want it to eat you.
Yes. And it was very counterintuitive, but I'll be all right.
Like that, but okay.
And Kale, you can make it so that it's disinclined to attack you, right? Because we expect it to be hostile. At least that's the impression that I've been getting.
Yeah. Yes, I could do that, I think.
Yep.
No, I can't.
Would you like me to cast invisibility on you? You could still commune with it. You could still cast spells. However, it won't see you. So the only visual will be Nos. You have 1 minute if I cast the spell on you.
I have 1 minute if you make me invisible?
With greater invisibility, yes.
If you give me regular invisibility, it goes away once I do a thing, right?
Yes.
You know, I think it'll be fine. I'll ride up on Edra, and I'm sure Edra can outpace a whole ass tree.
Why do you keep saying that there's a hole in this ass's tree?
This ass's tree. It's an elf thing. Wouldn't expect you to know. All right.
Okay. So, ready to go.
We doing this?
We're doing this.
All right. Kale, let's me and you actually move to the side a little bit to ensure that the tree doesn't know that the rest of our friends are here, just in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
Capiche? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How far back away from Kale and Nos are the party going to remain, just in case?
I would say
right now, let's say you are 200 feet away from the tree. So Kale and Nos are going to get closer, obviously. How close do you guys want to be, just in case?
I would like to be 80 feet away, but if it looks like there's like nowhere to hide around that, I'll stop short so I can hide somewhere. I just want to hide preferably within 80 feet so that I can get there if I need to.
Okay. Taslin and Wampum, you up for that?
Yeah, I would probably stay at about 100 feet away from them.
I'm not comfortable, but I'd be 80 feet away.
80 feet? Okay. Raziel will... she shall also join one of you. Yeah, she's gonna leave Taslin by himself and join Lafcadio and Wampum at the 80-foot mark. I am going to need stealth checks from the three of you, plus Raziel.
Before Kale and Nos headed off, would it be possible to hand Nos Iskar, my familiar?
Yes.
Second question. Since plane shift, if I'm targeting something to banish them, is a touch spell, can I go through my familiar?
The rules on familiar just limit it to a touch spell, do they not? They don't limit it to anything else.
Correct. Unless it specifies that I physically, as just merely ghoul touch, I can't do through a familiar.
I don't think the spell specifies that, so
Okay.
you should be fine.
Yeah, so I will hand Iskar, who's like a lazy black cat, to Nas. Just in case you can't get out, I will attempt to plane shift you through Iskar if I feel things are not going well.
I got the cape. But, alright, yeah, it's good generally to have eyes on the situation. And I'm gonna wear Iskar like a boa, because I gotta have my hands free. This lazy noodle cat wrapped around my neck.
And, yep, so I'll go stand by myself then.
You do have to be within 100 feet to do spells.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 120 feet, so I can move 20 feet forward.
Cool.
Okay. Right, so
And
I need
you
a
wanted
stealth
stealth.
check. So, yeah. Lafcadio, what did you roll?
24 for stealth.
24. Wampum, what did you roll?
9.
9. Okay. And Taslin?
I rolled a 4.
Okay. 4 in total.
In total, it was a nat 1 plus 3.
Okay. All right. So you guys stay behind Kale and Nos as they move forward, and then you'll eventually stop when you get to that point of 80 feet and 100. Lafcadio and Raziel do a good job of staying hidden. Unfortunately, Wampum and Taslin make quite a bit of noise, and Kale and Nos notice the tree twitches as it hears them, and it doesn't have eyes, but you see some of its branches twist in such a way to reveal an opening towards them. And then it turns even further, twisting itself towards you, just constantly creaking and swaying around. Once you get to this point in space, which we're saying is how far away from it? Come on, roll it all. Yeah, about 40 feet away. That's when we're going to roll for initiative.
You got it. Ooh, baby.
So Kale got a 27. Is
Yeah,
Nos
20.
riding on Kale? I mean, Kale's horse?
No, I'm just at the horse's side, like right next to its head.
Okay. Okay, Lafcadio got a 25. Wampum got an 18. Do I have Wampum? There we go. All right, so everyone is in the turn order, and we start out with Kale, actually, astride his fancy horse.
I imagine this thing. So I see how large the token is. Is that like where all of it is, or are the
That
roots
is
sticking out?
So what you can see on the map are its branches as of right now, how far it really extends, and its roots are that wide. So its roots extend about 10 feet past its own token. And the token shows that the branches are kind of grouping up together. They look very long, such that they have quite the reach.
Is it also actually up on the hill?
Yep, up, just slightly up, only like a 2-foot rise, not much.
Okay.
Your horse would have no problem with that.
Right. And the way we're doing the horses, it's just like I replace my movement with Edra's, basically.
Basically, you
Okay.
can command the horse to dash as well, so you should have twice as much movement as normal.
Like I can command it to dash, and it doesn't cost one of my.
It doesn't cost
actions
you
or
anything.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I will ride Edra up to here. I guess. Can I reach a root, and I got instead of the healing staff, I'm holding Angel Mace in my shield. But can I reach a root or a branch or anything from here?
Yes, you can.
All right, then I will reach out with Angel Mace and tap root or branch or whatever, some part of this tree, and I will cast the tongue spell.
Okay. Before you get your tongue spell off, touching the root is going to trigger a defense mechanism. I need you to roll a charisma saving throw.
Okie dokie.
Against a charm effect.
All right.
Have advantage.
So that was pretty good. I can add things. Hold on. I know how to add. It's plus 8. Jeez. 25.
Okay. You looked like it was going to be a concern. 25, you're fine. All right. Go ahead and cast your tongue spell.
All right. I cast the tongue spell. Basically just by touching it with Angel Mace. And now it can, understand and speak to people. And I will speak to it. Say, hey, hold on before you attack somebody. Just want to talk.
What? Voices.
Yeah, it's probably very odd for you. I can understand that. Do you know where you are right now?
Yeah.
Yes, technically correct. Me and my friends want to help you, right? We want to help. Yes, we want to help put you together again and make you whole.
No. Whole, bad.
Why is that bad?
Whole, hurts.
It hurts?
No hurt, separate.
How did you... How were you always separate? Or no, because it hurts when you were whole. What separated you?
The pain. Split. The plane. It's free.
Plane tree.
Pain.
The pain tree split?
The pain split. And so the pain made free.
Pain made free. That's weird. What can we do to keep you from being in pain?
Keep separate. Don't together.
Don't together. Okay. And what is it? What is it that you want? What's your greatest desire in the whole wide world?
To live, spread, seed.
Cool. Do you have a suggestion as to what you would like? Like, how can we help you?
Spread seeds further. Yes. Split more.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. I'll turn back to Nos.
Help tree.
I'll turn back to Nos and say, yep, we're gonna help you. I brought you an offering. I'll kind of look at her like, is this cool? You're good? All right, and I'll gesture from her to the tree.
Okay. I think you're going to need to roll a deception check there.
We are offering Nos to the tree. That's a good roll. Do I have proficiency? No, but I have a plus 3. 21.
Okay. All right. So during all of this, what does Lafcadio and Taslin do, knowing that Taslin has been discovered?
Ring of invisibility? Boop.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
Continue to watch.
Continue to watch. Okay. And Nos, we're now up to you. What do you do?
You want the stick? You want the stick, boy? You want to get it? You get the stick? And then I'll start moving towards Kale, but also kind of to the left here, so that he's out of the shot if it does like a sweeping thing. And I'll just be right here. It's like, go get this thing, boy! Go get this thing! And if it does, no, I won't reserve anything because you can't with the bonuses. But I'll prepare and I'll try to do like I'll try to quiet my rage, keep it at a lower decibel, and just be really ready. Start flexing my muscles a lot and getting adrenaline going, ready for it to eat me.
Okay. All right. So you are raging, but on the inside.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Okay. All right. As you come closer to it, it does believe, Kale, that you are an offering. You raised up the stake with the blood on it, and a portion of the bark seems to just split for a second, as it almost seems to be breathing in.
That smells good. It smells good. Come get it.
Feed. Split. Yes. So you're just going to let it reach out, grab you, and devour, right?
You betcha.
Okay. Now, Wampum's not going to do anything, is he?
I'm gripping that axe awful tight, but no, I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
Appreciate the faith.
All right. This tree, it's on its turn. Its branch reaches out and extends itself quite long, and actually reaches out a good 50 feet past the tree, and then it just wraps itself and coils itself around Nos completely.
I'll
and then
actually receive it.
Yeah.
And kind of like hug on to its arms a little bit.
Slowly drags you towards it as the tree begins to just split open to absorb you completely. As it does so, you will take some squeezing damage. It's a little bit excited, so it's going to kind of pull a little bit. So, yeah. Since you accepted it, it will deal 15 points of bludgeoning damage, but you're raging, so that's halved down to 7 as it squeezes and pulls you in. Once it's inside, you are immediately attacked by thousands of tiny little twigs and portions of the tree that break off like teeth to try and just slowly devour you and the stake. It releases you with its own wrist, closes up completely with Nos inside. Nos, you've got the stake in your hand. What are you doing? Just kind of trying to make sure that it tastes and goes for that, or?
I don't think I need to do anything. I just leave it in here, right?
Yeah, you just need to let it feed.
I'll let it go. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to get out of here as soon as possible, though. Just heads up. Yeah.
The little taste that little tendril gets as soon as it feels the side sends this thing into overdrive. It almost screams with glee and excitement, which everyone can understand because of the tongues, as it's food. Yes. You can bamf out, no problem, and you won't get hurt anymore. You use the cape, right?
Yes, and I definitely bring Iskar with me.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You do that. That's all. Where? How far do you go?
Where I saw my comrades.
Okay.
Go.
Now, it will, however, in this moment, because it's feeding on the blood, it is going to stay in place, but it is going to be a little bit more active just for the rest of the round while you guys kind of back away. So it's going to attempt to tendril attack Kale as well.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Nope, it wasn't. That's an 18 to hit Kale?
Nope.
It's excited. Nope. Mm-hmm. All right, so it lashes out, fails to do so. Raziel gets ready to fire a shot at it, just in case Kale can't escape. But Kale,
Can Edra disengage?
Edric can disengage.
And Edra is going to disengage and then move 40 feet away.
All right.
And as I'm
This
leaving,
thing-
I'll tell
go
it, we'll get more for you. I know that tastes really great. We'll find another one. Just wait here as long as you can. We'll be back.
Okay. It tries to lash out towards you all, but it can't quite reach you as you leave its range. So we can ignore the turn order right now. You successfully convinced it to this, and even looking at it right now, it's slightly pulsing itself. It looks like its muscles twitching as it feasts on the blood that is handed to it. Now the clock starts. What are you guys doing? In a bit of a hurry.
Alright, I can use the amulet to teleport us immediately into the Feywild.
Maybe.
Or we can march for hours and find the nearest entrance.
Well, I might be able to find one more quickly. Just ow! Oh, hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Well, how much flight? 80 feet. Okay. So I'll say I can find one pretty quick. Give me just 1 second, and I'll go through the bag of holding, and I'll get out my Griffin figurine, and I will choose you. Pew! And summon the Griffin. And I'll be like, take care, Edra. And then I'll jump off of her and jump onto the Griffin and take off and just start flying in a random direction.
Okay. So, which of your skills are you going to use to key in to this location? Since your ability to sense them is more inward, which of your skills will you be using?
Which of my skills would I be using? Would it be... I suppose I've seen portals to the Feywild before.
Yeah, you've seen it before.
So I know that I know generally what areas around them might look like. So maybe like an investigation check, or maybe an Arcana, because it's a portal thing.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Okay. That would be a 28.
Okay. Not far. It's actually 3 miles away from here, so just under an hour's normal march. Fast-paced people could travel a little bit quicker, but just under an hour's march west of here, you guys you will see a portal to the Feywild. It's actually where two very large trees just seem to wrap around one another. They've grown unnaturally into one tree, and it's where their roots connect that a very small portal has opened up.
Neat. So yeah, I'll fly back on my 80-foot move speed Griffin, and I'll be like, yep, it's this way, and I'll tell everybody to follow me.
Okay.
But not everybody has horses and stuff, so I guess we have to kind of go to regular.
Would it have saved time for you to message us, like fly halfway and message us? So we could get started, you're like, fly northeast.
He didn't need to go very far, as
okay.
The further up he went, the further out he could see.
Okay.
So he didn't actually need to go that far in order to be able to spot it.
Yeah. No, I don't have sending prepared today, so.
Alright.
Anyway.
So, running as you do, out towards Kale on the back of his Griffin with your horse following you. Is anyone going to jump on the horse, or is the horse just going to be riding by itself?
Or we'll guide it to make sure it doesn't, go anywhere untoward.
Yeah. Tazin will be on Cameled and Diaz.
It is intent on following Kale. It's a well-trained. It likes Kale by this point.
Yeah. And she knows all you guys, so she'd be comfortable with anybody riding her, I'm sure. Whatever you want to do.
I'll grab her. I'll sit on her. Make use of her.
All right. Rushing off, you guys will, in just under an hour, get to the portal. The portal, as you see it, is a tight hole that is actually a drop that you would have to kind of jump into. The horses and the griffins will be able to do it, but at a squeeze. Okay?
Okay.
So what's important is your marching order, because you can only go in single file. It's important what your marching order is.
Can I go in riding on the griffin?
Yes.
I will go first.
I'll go second because I presume, still invisible on top of Camilton Diaz.
Oh, wow.
Third.
I'll bring up the rear.
I guess I will leave the cot here, and
Well, you guys we gotta bring the chest, right?
oh yeah, it's
The coffin.
Oh, Wampum, you knew all this, but just to refresh your memory, Taslin's ex has brought a vampire with, who's in this big box. Allegedly, it's dead and staked. However, she feels that it might be helpful to have this to lure the tree that's in the Feywild. So, of course, you remember this. You were here last week. I mean,
Sure.
you were here 5 hours ago. You know all this. But just as a recap. So how do we get this big box?
Carefully. I will get one end. Does someone else want to get the other?
I'll carry the other end.
Okay. All right. So I have lined you all up in what I think I heard as your marching order, with first, followed by Taslin, Nos, Lafcadio, Wampum, then Raziel. Right?
Sounds right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, in this situation, the moment you cross through the portal, you are going to be attacked. But because it is a pathway, or like more a transition that you guys create yourselves, you will generate your own turn order here. So, I need Kale to roll for initiative.
That would be for 23.
23. Okay. I will add you in. And all of you will follow in that order. Will follow Kale in the initiative order. I'm going to take a screenshot of that order so that we don't forget. Come on. Here we go.
6 hours.
Right. Now, the creatures in question that pop out of the bog happen to be hags.
Ew. What?
We love hags, don't we?
Sick.
I do. I have a weird fascination with hags right now.
Just right now.
I've been putting them in every one of my games. I like hags. And how was their initiative? Less. Okay, so Kale, you pop in right through on your griffin back riding. The horse is going to come in slightly after everyone else. But in the fact that you pass through, you see the 3 hags that are popping up out of this large, colourful, very sparkly swamp that you've popped out into. And you get to act first, or rather the entire party does. So Kale, what do you do?
Fly? What's the upward portion of this map look like?
It's all dead trees, so you've got a straight flight up, no limitation.
All right, then I will fly up 80 feet on my Griffin.
Okay.
And I will shout that there's people, there's hags, there's witches waiting for us. And I guess that's it for right now. I don't really have. I guess I could try guiding bolting one of them. I'll point Angel Mace at one and shoot a guiding bolt.
Which one?
The one on the left.
Okay.
What's the range of guiding bolt? 120 feet. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Here we go. I rolled a nat 20.
Hey.
Just roll
That will connect.
Oh, stop. Let's see. 8. Fucking 12. Another 8. That's 20. And then I get 2 more. 30 radiant damage.
Nice. And that hag begins to glow. It looks like it's rotten by itself. The majority of its body that you can see looks more like a swamp than it does a person, and you just light it up like a horrible rotting Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else from you, Kale?
Can I? Is it a free thing to do to like stow a weapon?
To stow or draw one. Did you have your angel mace out before?
Yeah, I was still holding it.
Yeah, so you can stow it.
Okay, I will do that then after I
Okay.
blast this stupid lady.
Okay. Taslin, you're
All
up
right.
next.
Yeah.
Kale is out of the way, so you can get through the portal, no problem.
Yep. And I'm on Camilton Diaz and invisible.
Yep.
So I'm gonna make it look like Camilton Diaz was just
Just a camel.
yeah, like he's just a camel, just like probably like a caravan.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go 30 feet this way
Okay.
from where I was to put me like right there.
All right.
And I'd like to Cone of Cold.
Before you do so,
Yeah.
as you move into and then out of this hag's melee range, it is going to reach out to hug the camel.
That's okay.
Yep. That is a natural 20 against the camel.
Yeah, I think that hits.
Yep. The camel becomes grappled, and it will take extra damage at the start of its turn. But with a natural 20, that's 54 points of bludgeoning damage to the camel. I think the camel is dead.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, and you fall on the floor prone.
Yeah.
When you do so. All right. No more camel.
No more camel.
Din Diaz.
All right. So would that break invisibility, or would I still be invisible?
You're still invisible because
Okay.
Which invisibility did you cast on yourself?
It was just regular invisibility because
Yeah,
it was
so
the other ring.
you're fine until you attack or cast a spell.
Okay.
But you're limited
Okay.
on your movement right now.
Yep. So since I already moved 30 feet on the camel's movement speed, would I still be able to?
You haven't used your movement speed.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll
Only
stand
used the
up.
camels.
Yeah. So I'll stand up right there, and then I'm
Right.
gonna Cone of Cold.
Okay.
And-
When did you cast invisibility on yourself?
That would be right when.
Why would you have cast it before going through the portal?
Oh, I had it on from when the tree.
I thought you put a ring on.
Yeah,
Right.
I used the ring. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You used the ring. Right. Okay. You used
Yeah.
the ring to
Yeah.
be invisible.
Yeah.
That's not casting invisibility spell, is it?
No.
No. All right. So there's no time limit on it. Okay.
Correct.
Because you've been in that state for an hour. Okay. All right. Fine. Now you can use your action to cast.
Yeah. And then that would break the invisibility that the rings provide.
Cast the spell.
For Cone of Cold. And so that would be at the normal level of 5th for a 60-foot Cone of Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll just do like that.
Right.
So it needs to make a Constitution saving throw of 18.
Which it succeeds.
Oh, okay. So it's going to take half damage.
Yep. And it is also resistant, so it'll take half damage on top of that. So go ahead and roll the damage.
37.
Okay, so halved down to 14. No.
It'd be a quarter of it.
That would be 17. No. 18. 37 divided by 2 is 18. Yes.
So take
And
9.
then divided again, so it takes 9 points of cold damage.
Yep, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to have Blessing of the Raven Queen. I'm going to move 30 feet away and have resistance to all damage.
Okay. All right. Nos.
So I just come through the portal just now, right? Is that what's up?
So you were all notified. You can see the portal entrance. So you could still see Kale, where as soon as he passed through, he alerted everyone. So you've not actually passed through the portal right now.
Okay, so now I pass through the portal.
Now you're passing through the portal on your turn.
Okay.
Yes.
And you said that I was able to see everything that happened?
Yes.
All right.
Or at least you could see everything that was in front. You didn't see Taslin lose his camel.
Okay. But I did see... No, I did or didn't see Taslin. No, I saw Taslin's camel going off that direction, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. I feel pretty good that Kale's safe where he's at. Safe-ish. At least. You know. We'll see. But Taslin, I am incredibly worried about. I don't know what's up with that over there, so I will jump off of Edra, because I will not be held responsible for killing Kale's best friend, presently. And then I will go for... I'll start to run in the direction that I saw Campbellton Diaz go, and I see the Campbellton Diaz dead on the ground. I'm like, oh no! Taslin! And I'll rage and I'll start attacking this thing.
Okay.
That's a 25 and an 18.
Both of those will hit.
Ooh. 16 slashing and 12 slashing, as well as 10 radiant for Divine Fury. And I meant to be there. Whoops. There you go.
Nice. All right. Anything else from you?
I'll stay here. Yep.
Okay. Your flurry of attacks end up ripping through this creature's flesh, and it just seems to be oozing with yellow bile from every cut and bruise that you create. Okay. Lafcadio.
Oh my. I just had a brain fart. I was going to ask a question and it went away.
Oh no.
Sure it
Mustn't have been important.
not important. All right. I'll use my feline agility to get double movement speed. So I have 80 feet worth of movement. I'll get 50 feet to there. See the glowing hag. And I will lash out with my 9-tailed whip for 3 attacks. The first one at advantage. It's a 31 to hit.
That will hit.
For 11 slashing. And thinking about it. 30 to hit.
Another hit.
13 slashing. And then the last one, 23 to hit. And
which will also connect.
it's 11 slashing. And on that last one, I will also use my Eldritch Smite. And so the whip, after 2 slashes, starts glowing with radiant light. That's actually not radiant, it's force damage, but you just roll with it for an extra 31 force damage. And she should be knocked prone. Oh, and now I remember the question I was going to ask. Can you zoom in on the token so we could get a good look at this this lady?
Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah. So, a very nasty looking, bulbous hag with lots of twigs and skulls and just dead material, both connected and also hanging off of her. Yeah.
If you put your hand over the right side of her face, she looks genuinely happy and pleasant.
In like a sick, I'm gonna
Yeah.
eat your flesh kind of way. Yeah.
I wonder where Hansel and Gretel went.
as Lafcadio came right towards her and started whipping her, she just started licking her lips. Being that you were in melee with her, Lafcadio, within 5 feet of her as you were dealing all of that damage, as you connect with the smite, you actually cause all of that yellow bile to spray quite a bit, and it just gets all over you, and it's all sticky and horrible. You're going to take 7 points of acid damage, and you will continue to take 7 points of acid damage at the beginning of every turn until you take an action to wipe yourself off.
I am very off-put by this. All right, I'll use the rest of my movement from my to run north, and with my mobile feat, I should not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Nope, you don't.
And
But she's not glowing anymore.
I will end my turn.
Okay, we are now down to... Oh, we lost Kale's camera and lost his camera.
Oh, I see them both.
You do? Okay.
Yep, me too.
Oh, for me, for some reason, I don't see either of you. Wampum just got really big on my screen. Okay, so Wampum, it's now your turn, but you are also holding one half of a crate of a vampire. So, what are you going to do?
As I come through the portal, I'm going to lay the corner of the coffin on the ground, and I saw that Nos went to the right. I'm going to follow her and get in between this thing and her, and I am going to swing 3 times.
Okay.
First swing is a 22 for 16.
It's a good solid hit.
Second swing is a 18 for 13.
And again.
And the last swing is a 15 for 14. But this time I want her to make a wisdom.
Unfortunately, that one won't hit.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you do against her?
Not at this moment.
Okay. All right. Then, as with the other ones, as you sliced through this heavily wounded hag, you will also be covered with her blood and oozes. And that is 12 points of acid damage, and you will continue to take 12 points of acid damage at the beginning of every turn until you take an action to wipe it off. All right, so that was it for you. Raziel will spend most of her turn pushing the heavy box back inside the Feywild, and from there she'll pull out a bow and fire at the hag that Lafcadio had attacked, and miss. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yep.
But then she
All right.
curves the arrow.
Yeah.
That would be great. But no. All right, so the hags, all 3 of them get to act now. First of all, we're going to go with the one that is right up against Wampum, and she is going to come in for a nice big hug. Just reach her big, nasty, gross arms around the large Wampum and try to hug him.
Hurt.
So, you roll this. That's going to be a 21 to hit Wampum.
I duck underneath her big old arms.
Okay. She's going to try to bite you, though, for a 24 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. And that will deal 17 points of piercing damage to you.
Okay.
Okay. And then one claw attack since the hug failed. That's a 17, so that's going to miss.
Correct.
Running in for another big hug, we have a hag moving in towards Raziel. Big crushing hug with a 27 to hit. That's going to hit Raziel. Dealing 28 points of bludgeoning damage to her. Ouch. And she's now grappled and will take additional bludgeoning damage at the start of each of the hag's turns. She's also going to bite with a 20 to hit, and then a claw attack, which will all hit. Well, Raziel doesn't look so happy about being hugged, bitten, and then slapped twice. All right. I figured out what it is. My internet connection. Skype is trying to preserve the connection by only showing me a few of you. That's what it is. All right. So we have one more who is going to run after Lafcadio. Still licking her lips, she starts shouting, "Little kitty, come on, little kitty," as she's also going to try and hug you.
No! Go away!
Come here, kitty. Give your auntie a hug.
She actually falls over as she tries to hug you a little bit too vigorously and slips. She's going to stand back up and then swipe at you with a claw. That's a 17 to hit. That's going to fail. And then a 20 to hit with a bite attack.
They will hit.
Okay. The bite being 12 points of piercing damage. And that's it for them. Now we go to first in the line, Kale at 80 foot in the air. What are you doing, Kale?
I'm gonna get out the Healy staff, heal stick, and then I will dive down 75 feet, I guess, and touch. I'll try and touch Raziel with the healing stick.
Thank you.
Because she's probably getting budged up the. And where's the spell? I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds, obviously. Here we go. But I want to use, let's say, oh shit. I'm gonna do it at 4th level. I'm gonna do it at 3rd level. Which is 3d8 plus 5. Here I go. I know which die are d8s. Wow, that's truly horrible. 11. She gets 11 health.
Hanks.
You're so welcome. And then I can have the Griffin Dash, right?
Yes, you can.
Griffin Dash is up, to 70 feet. So I'm up to 70 feet.
Okay.
And then Edra's around somewhere, I presume.
Right at the entrance of the tree.
Yeah, I'll tell her to just don't get hit. Just dodge. She knows that command, I assume.
Yeah, and she'll move away a little bit.
Okay. To
avoid being hit. Taslin.
Yeah. Seeing Raziel just get the shit kicked out of her, I'm gonna run. Well, I'm gonna move forward 15 feet. I'm gonna upcast Scorching Ray at the 7th level. So that's 8 rays.
Okay.
All on that one nice-looking woman.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna just roll them all at the same time. That's a 20, a 23, a 25, a 23. That is a 28, a 17. A 18 and a 17.
So all of them hit.
All right. It's 2, 4. I'm just going to do this. So that's 16d6. If they all hit.
Go ahead and roll it.
For 54 damage.
Nice.
That's a lot of ones,
right.
though.
Anything else from you?
Yeah, I'll wave my hands after I cast it and be like, over here, you ugly old broad.
Well, they like that. So.
As your rays of fire all launch towards this hag, each one compounding against her large hump, making it almost begin to glow as you heat up whatever's inside of her. And sure enough, it'll cause the splash damage and thanks very much, but no thanks from Raziel as she takes acid damage. She'll take 5 points of acid damage and will do so every turn. Okay. Nas.
So, is Raziel still being held?
She's still being grappled, and now she's covered in that bile.
I got this one. Go on.
I see Nos taking that indecision, and I'm like, no, focus on that one. I'll take care of Raziel.
Can't tell me what to do!
I can't, but I did.
What I was going to say, though, was Wampum good form, everybody else bad form, way too spread out. What are you doing? And I will... Let's see. I guess I will come over here and recklessly attempt to swing at Raziel's holder in an attempt to slice her arms off.
Okay. So, specifically trying to... Go ahead.
Yeah, recklessly, though, also.
Recklessly.
That's a critical. Is it 32?
That is a nice reckless strike there.
So that's 28 points of damage on top of 17 more radiant.
Okay, so let me add that in. 28, then 17, and roll a d100.
Oh, yeah.
85. Leaves grow from the target. If you choose a point in space as the target, leaves sprout from the creature nearest that point. Unless they are picked off, the leaves turn brown and fall off after 24 hours. Okay, so now she begins to get a nice covering of beautiful leaves to hide the nastiness.
You're like, oh, not another evil tree.
All right, and then the second strike that you dealt with her, distracted by the leaves that are suddenly growing off of her, is an 18 to hit, which
28,
hits.
actually, because reckless.
Right, yes, because reckless.
But, yeah.
12. All right, that will break her grapple on Raziel. Raziel is now free. Unfortunately, she will take an additional chunk of damage. 6. So Raziel is now taking 11 points of acid damage at the beginning of her turn until she uses an action to get rid of it.
Alright, I'll shout at her, get out of here! And then I'll...
Who are you shouting that to?
Raziel.
Okay.
And I'll hold my position. I could take an extra strike with the half attack, but believing that it's still going to hurt her if I do that, I will refrain.
Okay. Raziel will salute you. Oh, Mom. I feel. Lafcadio, you start your turn taking 7 points of acid damage.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to risk an attack of opportunity by running over here. Got to select the right tool for that job. There we go.
Okay, that attack of opportunity will be a 17 to hit.
That will miss.
That will miss, okay.
All right. I will place a paw on Raziel, and I will cast Dimension Door. And I will move us far, far away but not too far, because I'm still in the fight. Dimension. Roll 20. Alright, I reckon I'll head up to the northern edge of the map. So, up thereabouts.
Okay.
With Raziel in tow.
All right, and she will be willing.
With my bonus action, I will use my healing light and give her some good feels and end my turn.
Okay. Thank you for the good healing. We go to Wampum, who is going to take 12 points of acid damage at the start of his turn. What you going to do there, Wampum?
First attack is a nat 1.
Okay.
And second attack is I'm going to use a die on that.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 22 to hit
That will hit.
for 12 points of slashing.
Okay.
I want her to make a... She's using her hands. So I'm going to make me a wisdom saving throw DC 18, please.
She succeeds.
Okay. So she takes additional 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Third attack is a 30 to hit for 13 points of damage.
That'll hit. That'll hurt.
And I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
First attack is a 20 for 12.
Yep.
Second attack is a 20 for 16.
It's a lot. With strike as you cut across her throat, she'll actually drop.
Okay.
You're also covered with a lot of bile now as a result of that. Actually, that's really bad. Okay. You will take 13 points of acid damage, and now, the start of your next turn, and you will take 25 points of acid damage until you use an action to get rid of it all.
Gotcha. So I am down to 130.
Down to 130.
And my last attack, I'm going to throwing the blast axe and having it go off.
Is an action.
So okay.
So you haven't moved, so you could move and attack another one.
I will come down here to do that. Right in front of Nos.
And it's amazing because we assume the exact same position that we did a second ago, with me with the glaive over his shoulder and him up underneath.
Yeah. He almost slides through the little swampland to fit just underneath your glaive.
And that is a 30 to hit for 15.
That's going to hit. That's going to hurt a lot. That will actually also take her down.
Neat.
That is 2. Well done, Wampum. Anything else?
Next!
Right. Then, if that's it for you, it'll be Raziel's turn. She is going to... but will then use an action to wipe it all off. Thank you, Lafcadio, for your help.
No problem, mate.
Yep, that's all she'll do for now. She doesn't have much that's useful. Okay. Then we go to the hags. There is just one hag remaining, and since the kitty cat ran away, here, little elfie. Yeah, little elf.
I'd rather if you didn't touch me.
That's okay. I like it when you squirm.
No, really, you should be smart enough to know that I literally will banish you to a different plane.
That's going to be a 27 to
That'll hit.
Yep. Okay. You will take 40 points of bludgeoning damage.
Excuse me?
40?
40. Yep.
Was that 14?
40 as she gives you a nice big squeeze and almost pops your sternum. She's then going to bite your head with a 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, for an additional 10 points of piercing damage. And then for good measure, she's going to stroke the side of your face with a that'll end her turn.
What was the last one? Just stroking
It was a
your
natural
face?
one. It was a natural one, so it failed. That's why she ended up stroking you rather than clawing at you.
Maybe she learned her
We
lesson.
now move to Kale.
All right. Things seem like they're going fine down there, except for Taslin. But he seems pretty confident. Maybe I shouldn't help him. He seems, I'll just banish you. I'm awesome. No, I'll.
Good.
I will level the healing stick like a lance because I'm being setting appropriate today, and I am launching a second level guiding bolt at that hag. I rolled that 20 again. Holy shit. Okay, I'm just gonna roll this in roll 20. Roll, is it exclamation mark or just slash?
Slash.
Slash R space and then all the die.
E6. Huh! 35 radiant damage.
Okay. She begins to glow, which just lights up her smile.
And I will shout in Sylvan, unhand him, fiend! No, yeah, sure.
I think you'll find that's Faye. Okay. Taslin.
Yeah. So I'm restrained, correct? Because I'm grappled?
You are grappled and restrained right now.
Okay.
Well, no, you're not considered restrained, you're just considered grappled.
Okay. Alright. What do I want to do? Would I be able to attempt to banish her with the amulet?
Your amulet is the ability to cast plane shift on...
Yeah, so would I be able to use plane shift via the amulet? Since I'm within touch range of her because she's holding me.
Okay. So, you can try. Yes.
Okay.
You try to use plane shift. However, as with the amulet, you actually use an action to make an intelligence check, please. Just an intelligence check, not a save or anything, no proficiency bonus, just intelligence check.
Yep. That is a 16.
16?
Yep.
Okay. All right. On a success, you cast the plane shift spell. Go ahead and try to cast a plane shift.
Okay, so she just has to make a charisma saving throw of 18. Oh,
She fails.
do you want me to roll for the melee spell attack, or would...
Yes, please. If you have to make a melee spell attack, then you need to do that first.
Okay, so that is a 17 total.
Okay. So that will hit. She will fail. It is transported to a random location on the plane of existence you specify. Creatures so transported must find it. So, you succeed. Where are you sending it?
I'm gonna send her right to the bottom of the ocean in the plane of water.
Okay. Now, would she take you with her?
It doesn't specify.
Probably not.
I mean, I have
Doesn't
water.
specify. It takes everything that people are holding. So, sure enough, she disappears. Good job. All right. With the last of the hags now gone rather than dead. What are you guys doing?
I'm running
Everyone
over
wiping
after.
themselves clean, or what?
I'm
I'm
running.
cleaning off this green stuff.
Same.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. Sorry that we kept interrupting you.
No,
I
it's
do
all right.
apologize.
I was just
Yeah,
saying,
we can hear
I'm running after Taslin, and my boots go plop, plop, plop in the swamp. I'm like, Taslin!
Yeah. So as I'm assuming she was holding me up above the ground. I probably go right into the swamp, like unceremoniously into the swamp, and my ribs. And I'll kind of like push myself out of the swamp.
Oh, you're
Wipe
all right.
my face.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Help him up, though.
I'll take
So-
my hand.
Did you mean to to get me covered in that acid, or was that just a happy coincidence there?
Definitely a happy coincidence.
Do you need help?
Well, I'm on my feet, but help is always appreciated.
Okay. She's going to slap you to give you 12 points of healing.
Wow, I feel so healed.
Yep.
I frown at her.
What? I helped.
You slapped him. That was not necessary. I mean, it's a little bit childish. Come on.
Fine. Do you need anything?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Good, because I only have that once a day.
Wampum, on the other hand, is covered in schmutz. How you doing back there?
Oh, speaking of Wampum and Raziel, last session Wampum had the opportunity to get to know Raziel very well. How open would Wampum have been to her advances at trying to make Taslin jealous?
What race is she?
She is an Eladrin. So she is not just an elf, she is the elfest of elves.
I would not even give her a glance. I'd walk away.
Okay. Well, as she's going to make her pine after you a little bit more, she will use one of her 3 heals per day.
Whoa.
And give you 70 points of healing.
I will fly down and revivify Camilton Diaz.
You can expend the diamond.
Yeah, I got just so much diamonds right now.
How things have changed.
Yep. I remember the good old days when you didn't have any.
Yep.
All right. So the camel is saved. It looks seriously confused.
She's fine. She'll figure it out. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Right. Yep.
Uh,
So what's the plan?
so we walked out of a swamp into a swamp.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think so my plan as it was, we go to the location where the tree was. So it should be an hour's march east of here, and then we open the box and let the scent of the vampire release.
Right. So I've been led to believe that might not be quite enough, bait-wise, and that it would be helpful for us to enlist some local aid.
What? Fine. What do you have in mind?
Well, I'm not from here. What do you have in mind? Do you know anybody in the area?
Whereabouts are we? And she starts looking around the place, and
Feywild equivalent of the High Moor, I'm assuming.
it's very helpful. A lot of places do shift from time to time. Right. So, my village is 3 days that way. And I think there are more villages that way. But I'm not sure how far.
Coolsies.
They would be your equivalent of the High Forest? Yeah, the High Forest.
Boy, I picked a bad day to not prepare sending. Okay. Those are our only two options, really, huh? There's no...
That I know of straight away. I mean, we could go in any direction trying to look for help. Who told you that that my plan wasn't going to be enough? Maybe they can help.
Denier.
Celestial Proxy. I suppose I could ask them again. Did I cast that today? I don't think I cast any of those today. No. That was all yesterday.
No.
Yeah. I will ask. Let's see. Up to 3 questions. The answer yes or no. What was the other one? Divination. Divination. Give me 10 minutes. I'll get down and I'll start. I'll get my book out and do my thing with the incense and the stuff. For 10 minutes, so I cast divination.
Well, if we're going to do 10 minutes, let's just take lunchtime.
We might as well. Do we want to see if these hags had anything on them?
You want to play with them?
I mean, I don't want to touch them directly. I'd be using my staff to kind of like poke and prod.
It looks like they have quite a bit on them. Nothing pleasant.
Yes.
If you're going to root around their person to try and figure out what they have, you can do so. Roll a investigation check.
All right. That would be a 23 plus my proficiency. That's 28.
Okay. So each of these hags, hidden underneath the folds of their flesh, will have a small pouch. Very clearly, the pouch itself appears to be made out of tanned humanoid skin. You can even see on one of them, they've not even taken off all the hair, so you can see the of something and where they've stitched together the eyelids to keep it as one piece of flesh. Inside the little bag, they keep all sorts of little trinkets and bits and pieces. It's their component pouch, effectively, with all sorts of things, seeds and spices and branches, twigs, that sort of thing. You do find a nice collection of small folded bits of hair, wrapped in twine and folded over, shaped almost like a little hook. Or something you could hook onto a hook, rather, of little tufts of hair. But nothing that would be of any particular use to you.
Yeah,
unless
so...
you like collecting.
No. The hair, would I have any knowledge of Fey hags and using the hair of other individuals?
So, history check.
Yeah.
Arcana, maybe.
I'll do an Arcana, maybe. That would be a 18 plus 5, 23.
Okay. So, although these hags can easily tear a grown man in half with their big, nasty, crushing hugs, they love to hunt little children, preferring all others. They use the flayed skin of such victims to make supple leather, and hags' lairs often show the signs of this industry. What you have right here are leftover pieces of the children whose flesh would have probably been... So it's kind of like a serial killer's trophy cabinet of sorts.
Yeah,
Plus,
Tazlin
it
will.
could be used for scrying and things like that. But
Yeah, Tazlin will kind of reverently hold on to them. He's gonna bury them as soon as they get out of the swamp. And he's not really gonna mention anything to his party.
all right. By which point, 10 minutes. Kale, what are your questions?
One question, because it's divination. What would be the best course of action for us to take to find the help that we need in the Feywild to complete our mission in the least amount of time?
And the response for divination is true, but often. But I'm not limited to yes or no or anything like that.
Right, it's a truthful reply. It might be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. Or a limerick, if you feel like it.
Okay. I'm not that good with limericks, but seek out the Hunters 3 north by northwest. They will be.
3 N and W. I will say thank you. And looking at everybody else, it's only been 10 minutes. I'll ask them, are we settling down for a longer amount of time? They have to say yes, because somebody rolled hit dice already.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm going to say that nothing happens during the short rest, and so it is an undisturbed rest.
Awesome.
All right. I'm gonna use my hit die.
I'm going to use the ring of spell slot storing and restore some spells slots.
I'll restore a 7th level spell with Arcane Recovery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's use 3 hit dice.
Anything else you guys are going to do right now, once your rest is over?
Well, so what's the plan, Kale? What?
So yeah, we need to go. I'll explain to them during the rest that we need to go northwest and find the Hunters 3, as it was described to me.
That sounds like a group of hunters, but that sounds like a fanciful way of saying that. Are they a renowned group of hunters?
So I was just told to go find the Hunters 3. I get the feeling we'll probably know it when we see it. But yeah, it's divination isn't usually that specific of a school of magic.
All right.
Just kind of get a good feeling, you know? Just a good feeling that that's the right thing. So.
And this whole mission has good feelings about it, right? If I recall correctly.
Right.
Nothing bad.
Right. And Raziel, actually, I wonder if Lafcadia's question was actually supposed to be directed at you and not me as much.
What?
Do you know about some Hunters 3? Is there like a legendary hunter group of 3 people?
They're not legendary. I do know of them. Keldian, Killian, and Kendril. They are quite annoying. Actually, they love to hunt a lot more than they love anything else. I would say they particularly enjoy hunting things that are not from the Feywild, so you might have a little bit of a problem with them, being that you guys aren't from the Feywild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As far as
We
I
can
know.
establish dominance. No problem.
Okay.
Well, maybe it'd be best just if you just dealt with them then, while we were behind you, not around.
Okay. They might be useful to have at least one of you engage with the NPCs.
I don't know. I think you should really have a conversation with yourself. I think we'd all be much more entertained with that. But yeah, I got 3 hours left on this griffin. Do I know what direction is north and west and whatever?
It'll be fairly easy to find out, and Raziel can confirm the direction. And you'll head north by northwest.
Okay. But just to
3
be clear,
hours, yeah? Go ahead.
I can independently verify that it's. I don't 100% trust Raziel.
You can independently verify, and she can add to your testimony.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Just making sure.
No problem. So you head out north by northwest, and you'll head a good few hours march. In fact, you'll go past the 3-hour mark where your griffin is supposed to have ended, and the griffin doesn't disappear.
All right. Well, I will speak the command word. I'll land and speak the command word to turn it back into a statue.
Okay, fair enough. And it'll go.
All right. So I don't trust that stuff. And then I'll see if I can hop back on Edra.
Yep. Probably not jealous at all that you've been riding a griffin.
Probably thankful for it, really. Got to relax a little bit.
Unfortunately, heading north by northwest on this particular day, you don't engage with anything between for the rest of this evening. What can equate to the sun within the Feywild begins to set as the colors of all of the beautiful plant life in the world around you begins to dim and then shift into more of a bioluminescent view of everything. The night is settling in. You've been marching for a while. You guys need to set up camp. Unless you're going to force yourself to keep marching.
Yeah,
so, what sort of, knowing the Feywild, knowing how wild and weird and crazy it can be, what sort of camp do you guys set up?
Well, we've established that Raziel is Fey.
Yep, she is Fey. And she will take watch sitting on the vampire's coffin.
Sure, choose me cast a spell. Fine. Shoot. So I can still put up my temple. She might not be able to get into it. She might be able to.
I also can't get into it if you become Fey.
I don't think you count as Fey specifically.
Yeah,
You're
y'all
Fey
are
ancestry.
humanoid.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, I
Fey
think the only.
ancestry?
Yeah,
No,
the only
you're right.
player race I think that's actually Fey is centaurs.
Yep.
Whoa.
Which is weird. But cool. Anyway, I guess I'll just nobody else can open a door, so I'll build my temple. Of course, for an hour, and I will have it repel just elementals, and fiends, because we need to put the vampire coffin in there too. Okay,
but you will kick out Faye, you say?
No.
No. Okay, you won't say Faye. Okay, so she'll be able to get in.
Yep.
Then everyone will enjoy themselves inside the temple for another night. By nature of summoning the temple, usually you're used to a certain aesthetic, and you get very quick at being able to create the same sort of aesthetic every time. This time, it looks a lot more natural based. The magic of the Feywild is twisting your temple's visuals just a little bit. No mechanical changes to its behavior, but now instead of marble stone, you have great big oak trees that twist together to create pillars and walls that grow out of just vines that intertwine very thickly. It looks like the same thing as it would be, but made out of trees.
Neat.
The branches of most of these creatures then begin to sprout tiny little bulbous flowers that then begin to give off very dim light and create a nice warm glow within your temple for the night.
I would like to, within the temple, walk up to Nos. I say, Nos, if I understand what our party has told us and believe them, and I have no reason to doubt them, we've both been here before, but I certainly don't remember it, and I got the vague idea that you also don't remember that. Is that right?
That is correct.
Well, I'm going to be taking copious notes in case that happens again, just so I can have just some sort of record that I was here, because this is an experience that I'd like to be able to recall. I don't know if that's something you'd like to do, or if there's something you'd like me to write down on your behalf, if that's not something you'd be inclined to do.
I wouldn't begin to know what to write.
All right. Well, then I'll just take notes, and if we happen to forget again, I'll remind you that I have this record.
You know, there's something untouchably cathartic, a little bit, about the concept of a place that is so beautiful, and yet, upon return to the mundane, you don't remember it. It's almost like a too good to be true sort of dreamscape sort of thing, you know? I'm not sure if I want to revoke that value. I'm not sure if I want to take that value away from it. But it's not like I want to forget it either. So it's a pickle. Yeah, I guess I'll just...
Well, I'll write that down, that you would prefer to not be reminded. And if you forget, before I share that with you, I'll remind you that you, at this stage, consider that. Whether or not you feel that way again in the future, we can revisit. But I find it very disconcerting that I have this gap in my memory. It's very troubling to me, and so I'm just taking these steps for myself.
I was going to finish by saying I'll just look at your notes later. So there you go. Actually, I was about to come talk to you as well. Last time we had a little heart-to-heart and we kind of touched bases. You were talking about how you weren't really feeling up to par with what was cosmically demanded of you. Are you still feeling that way?
Pretty much.
Really?
The things we've done, the things we've accomplished, I mean, they're great, but I'm more of a passenger, sidekick, bystander type. You guys are doing all the heroic bits. I feel like I have a greater destiny calling to me, and maybe I just haven't reached that part of my journey yet. Maybe I'm just here to learn from you folk while I prepare for that part. But yeah, I don't get the idea that Lord Firemane has really impressed, or that I've really fulfilled any potential that he saw in me when he granted me these powers.
It may just be that he's more of a stoic sort of deity, an offhands sort of. I know that we saw him once, but maybe that was some kind of amazingly rare occurrence universally, and he just doesn't have as much of a front seat when it comes to stuff as much as Daenerys proxy for Kale and Timora for myself. I will say, if it's any consolation, having gone there and returned, I do believe that this group is God-touched. So if you have a connection to Nobanian and you are with us, then I am certain that you are his representative on Earth.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not letting it get me too far down. Like I said, it might be just be I haven't come into my own yet, but I'm hoping for it.
Well, you've been doing great.
You're doing great too.
I know.
Do a little one of them.
Is that a fist bump?
On your chin. I'm doing one of them.
Okay, you hurt your hand.
All right. Well, good talk.
Okay.
Good talk.
I'll gather everyone around. I'll say, everybody, please gather around. I'll share the tale of last time we were in the Feywild, as written in my book.
Was this the time we accidentally teleported here?
No, I was just kidding. I wouldn't kill him do that. He didn't metagame that hard.
Wampum pulls up a log beside Nos. Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
Dandy. How are you?
Kind of lost lately.
Lost? What do you mean?
Well...
Because you don't have a goal anymore?
Maybe that, but... Since that goal's gone, but... With you dying and all... I don't know... That kind of hurt me deep. I mean, I even talked to, I guess, I guess it may have been Morden, or that unicorn thing, or maybe even Timora. I'm not sure which one it was, but they asked me why I needed Z back. I mean, they said that you be at peace where ye at. But then they said, why do I need you back? And I thought about it, and I thought about it hard, you see. And but believe me, I'm glad you're back. But I hope that we didn't take ye from Timora's side. I mean, maybe, I don't know if you remember, but maybe ye was in a better place.
Don't start second guessing yourself. If I'm here, then Timora thought it was a good idea too. The planes are the places in which the gods reside. This much I do understand. They control that area, and nothing goes in and out without them. So if you would not have been able to get me back, I would not be here unless everybody was on the same side and agreed that it was good for me to be here. I don't know what it was like or where you took me from or what happened, but I do have faith that it all happened correctly.
I got another question for you. What's it feel like having wings? Do they hurt?
No. It hurts when not the wings themselves, but it's the light inside that I'm trying to contain that hurts. And yeah, it does burn a little bit. I don't think it would be able to kill me or anything, but it has a limit to it for sure.
And I don't know, but Timora gave me something though too. I feel like a protection power is put inside of me, where I have a need to get in between me kin and danger.
You have a need?
That's what it feels like. That I have that need to get between danger and me kin.
Well, I mean, if the fight that we just did was any indication, that was actually very well done. We performed the Omega maneuver twice, which usually we don't even get around to it anymore. So that was super cool. I appreciate that. I don't know if I like how much damage you constantly take, especially when things splash at you. I probably would have preferred to take some of those myself. But for what it's worth, that was the most good feeling fight I've ever been in, I think. I don't think I took any of those whatsoever. Do you have a problem with the way that things have changed for you?
No, I guess it just might be a little confusing for me. I haven't since we coming off that mighty long quest. where I knew I had a purpose. That purpose was to kill the drow. But now, I'm not so sure.
Do they tell you what to do?
Well, I think I just might tag along for a while.
Yeah.
And see if I can find me place again.
I was just telling Lefcadio, we were talking about God stuff, and I was telling him how I thoroughly believe that our entire group is God touched. The things being how they have been. I mean, no Banyan showing up, me with Timora, Kale with the Denier proxy, so on and so forth. It could be that you are a chosen of Moradin or some kind of representative of his will, and that's why you're still here. And if so, if that is the way that it is, if you're like me in that way, then you literally just have to keep your eyes and ears peeled and wait for the signs, and then when a sign is given to you, you take it.
Alright then. Well, it'd be good to have you back. It does me heart good.
It's good to be back. I'm sorry to hear that you went through as much pain as you did with the temporary loss of myself. Be reassured that everything worked out the way that it should.
That wasn't feeling too good, you know.
It was probably some cosmic entity screwing with your head, to be honest. I want to say they're like that.
Aye. Well, let's go fight someone.
That sounds good. Do you have any alcohol on you?
And with that, as they start to drink, we're going to go ahead and take a break. So join us in just a couple of minutes while we, just after a short break, while we continue our adventure through the Feywild. All right, guys? Thanks.
Freaky nerds.
Now we're back. We got the freaky nerds part. I was waiting for the other part, but we missed the other part.
She's ousted us as freaky nerds, guys. I'm sorry. What is that you're showing us there?
Oh, and so they wanted to see...
Because you've never shown me.
What?
Show it better!
Okay. So I made this on Hero Forge. It is a late representation of Allie with a little tombstone in the back.
Drop it down just a wee bit.
Yeah, too far.
Too far. Back up.
Little...
There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. Me.
There you go.
Yeah, post some pictures on Discord, man.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking.
You were telling?
Paint. Homework for this
get it primed.
week is to painter, or at least primer, and then send a photo on the Discord. And if you'd like to join in with our Discord channel, you can using the link in the chat soon. Just jump in, accept the guidelines, be a nice person, and we'll have some fun chatting with you. You'll see all the prints and the painting that are in there, as well as a lot of DM and player advice dedicated towards tabletop games, but the vast majority of people are focused on D&D.
We are spamming that link.
Spamming that link? Alright. I will,
yeah.
Stream Elements is spamming the link, and maybe needs a ban.
Okay. Someone's got to keep that thing in line. So, you guys sleep for the night, and you will completely rest all night in the Feywild, gaining the full benefits of a full, long rest. Once you wake up, and if you take a look outside your temple, there has been a lot of little creatures and critters that have scurried out to check out this new building. A lot of tiny little beasts, so a whole family of rabbits, a few little deer. It's like a scene out of a Disney movie, just waiting for you guys to see what comes out of the temple. And then they scurry off as soon as you do pass on, open up the door. So,
yeah. Well, before all that happens,
same.
I think Tasman wanted to do
So most people have to sleep like 8 hours.
Right.
In the 4 hours that probably Raziel and him are awake, he'd kind of make his way over towards her. And,
yeah.
how are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm back home. I'm happier.
I can totally see that. Yeah. Must be refreshing to be back here.
It is. I feel more, you know?
Yes, I do understand that. It's much more vibrant, lively. Not at all like the Shadowfell, at least.
No. How can I help you, Taslin?
Just figured we could have a moment to talk.
Thank you for helping me earlier. I know I've been a bit harsh, but I do recognize you were trying to save me by harming that hag you didn't know it would hurt me. So thank you.
You're welcome. So what have you been up to in 200 plus years?
Mostly working off of my frustrations. I'll say this about the Feywild. It exaggerates emotion, and when I left you to go to the Feywild, I spent a good 70 years or so angry, and very angry. I took my frustrations out on a lot of other creatures, which I know I shouldn't have. I hunted, I killed, I did a lot. It came to a head when my village actually asked me to stop hunting. It took a while to get over what happened, but I feel like I have a little bit of extra work to do so. But yeah, it's I've been helping my family. My elders have been grooming me to lead the village. We're trying to build alliances with other elven villages dotted around the wilds. Hopefully we can build a better community to protect against some of the harsh dangers that have been happening lately. What with the portals and with this tree.
Yes, well, you shouldn't have too many issues with the portals any longer. We took care of that.
One problem ending always gives way to another person who wants to destroy the world in another way.
Yes, it is a wheel, constantly rolling. Without good, there can't be evil, and likewise, there will always be opposites balancing the world in an arc. But I think your village would be lucky to have you as their elder and leader.
Thank you.
Well,
I think they could do with a fresh perspective, though. If you had time, I could probably do with your help with a few minor issues at home.
Perhaps.
When you have time.
When I have time, I will no doubt return to help you with those.
Thank you.
Well, have a good night. I need to keep an eye on my little ones.
You've got little ones.
Oh, yes. All 4 of them. They're like children, sometimes.
Do they behave themselves?
For the most part. There have been times where they act impulsively, but when one's life is the blink of an eye for another, I suppose that's simply how you must be.
Yes. Well, looks like you're all doing well together. I certainly think this lot will do better than the last.
I surely hope so. And hopefully I do as well. But, have a good rest of the night, Raziel.
Thank you, Taslin. Thank you. Okay. Anything else that you guys are going to do over the night?
Pray.
Yeah.
Change out my spellbook.
Well, thanks to that little conversation that you just had with Raziel and prompting her to talk, when you wake up, her appearance will have shifted again, and she takes on the visage at the springtime. There's a little bit more of a spring in her step, excitement in her eyes, almost, as she just seems a little bit happier this morning. Taslin, knowing Eladrin enough to know that change that she had is means that she's in a better mood, which is good. All right. So, one more day further into the wilds we go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you guys do while traveling?
I'll walk beside Edra and kind of crane my head up towards Kale. Say, hey, isn't your mom is supposed to be around here somewhere, right?
She's supposed to be, yes.
Do you feel like asking the people that we're about to meet up with about her, or you just want to put her out of sight, out of mind until we're done with this?
Yeah, I would say the mission that we're on is much more important than her.
You got it. If you wanted to, we could try for both. There's nothing that's stopping us from trying. But
sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate your concern, but when I'm ready to resume the search, I'll do it.
That's exactly why I ask. All right, you got it.
Okay. Well, on this day, while you guys are traveling, you go over some quite fresh grounds. It's a nice change from the swamplands of the High Moorham where you had been traveling at first. The ground is more beautiful, it's more lively. That also inherently brings its own dangers, as some of the plant life become fairly aggressive. As you walk through, your passive perceptions are well enough to notice that in your path you notice small clumps of man-eating flowers, large fly traps that big enough to grab a person from off the side of the path and pull them in. So you can skirt around the outside as you wish, but
cool.
It's you enter into what appears to be a large forest that is just made to kill everything that falls by the wayside. There is a pathway that almost creates itself in front of you that is made out of a light cobblestone that slowly forms itself into more of a solid path. All these Venus flytraps and large hanging vines that seem to lash out at anything that goes by do lash out towards you, but they can't reach you on the path. So, continuing past these wonderful creatures, I need all of you to roll wisdom saves against being charmed.
Boy.
I'm going to use
15.
a luck.
I have a 26.
I got a 30.
21, baby! Nat 20.
Okay, so let me go through that again. Wampum, what was your wisdom save?
23.
23, so that's a success. Lafcadio.
15.
15. Okay, that is a success. Taslin.
26.
26. Okay, that is a success. Nos, you got natural 20.
Well, it's actually a 22 because I forgot that I'm attuned to the luck glaive as well.
Ah, there you go. So an extra 1, so 22. That is also a success. And Kale at advantage.
30.
What was yours? 30. Okay. All of you succeeding. Well done there. Continuing and able to move on past, you'll step out of the forest, or at least past all of the deadly plant life, into more of a thick forest. The trees cramp up together. They are thick trees. I can't think of different names, but the trunks of which are a good 3 feet diameter. For each of them, just closed into this very tight area. Even though you guys do very well with your passive perceptions, you will be surprised when an arrow flies past your lead person's head towards a tree that's right next to them. Before we get to that, I need to know, Lafcadio, you typically almost always use disguise self to hide your visage. Are you doing so right now?
I appear as a lion, but I am disguised to look like I have plate armor, so that I'm not a soft-looking target.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So as an arrow flies in and almost like a warning shot right in front of your faces, hits a tree next to you, what do you guys do?
I'll start looking for who shot it.
I would like to pluck the arrow out of the tree and then break it in my hand and look towards the place where it shot from.
And Wampum will head to that general area to get in between.
All right. As you look back in that direction, you will look quite... It's a thick wooded area, so you'll need to roll perception. What were you going to say, Kale?
I would make sure I don't have any, I don't have my shield on, and I don't have any weapons out. I'll just hold up one hand. I don't want to look like a total wuss-wuss. I surrender! But just hold up one hand and call out in Sylvan.
Okay.
We aren't looking for a fight. I'll thaumaturgy that, so it's super loud.
Okay. So, with perceptions, did anyone get over a 20?
My passive's 23.
Right, your passive is 23. Okay, I forgot your passive was not 18, it was 23. Okay, so in this moment, you looking in the right direction, you will see, tucked behind a tree, very far away, appears to be a tall, skinny humanoid creature, long, pointy ears, kind of palish pink skin, slightly loose off the face. This would be a tabaxi of the Sphinx variety. The Sphinx cat, the hairless cat variety.
Is there a target that is close to this thing that's not it?
Yes. But as you're looking at it, another 2 arrows will hit trees next to you coming from the opposite directions. You quickly turn around. You have 2 more. One tabaxi who is very dark clad. It's almost difficult to see past his silhouette, but you notice this is a panther-like tabaxi, dressed in black leather armor with a bandana, tucking his ears back behind his head, and to the side of him a very vibrant but hugely muscular leopard-like tabaxi.
I break those other arrows too.
Yep.
And I'm going to throw my axe right close to the targets where they're at, just to let them know that I see them, that yes, I have ranged weapons too. So each time I throw, it's gonna, I'm gonna catch it, throw it again, catch it, and just point at the panther, throw it, and come back.
I'm just gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. They'll scatter as you are throwing, and they'll split up and run around you. You'll hear giggling almost as the very faint sound of their footprints hops from tree to tree as they dart around you. Ha ha! Good show! Ha ha! Jumping fun, back and forth. Eventually, the three of them will somersault and land, all three of them, on one knee, and their longbows still drawn out towards you. Ha ha!
The King of Merry Men.
Heard them. They're speaking common.
And they speak common to you.
Good. Hello. We are some travelers and problem solvers.
You are foreign from these lands. You're not supposed to be here.
We are, but we have a guide who is from here. That we are helping her. Actually, she's more of a she's kind of the leader, and I'll point at Raziel.
As the group kind of parts and they get a better view of everyone that's in there, the three Tabaxi hunters immediately all drop their weapons, drop down on both knees, facing the ground. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I am so sorry. Forgive us. We did not know who it was.
Like, once I point to Raziel, or who that? What?
It seems like they're all turned to point at Lafcadio.
I will look at him expectantly.
Yeah, I will also look at him like.
Oh, you don't worry about it, mate. There's nothing to it. You didn't know, but now you know. So, no harm, no foul.
We are grateful for your presence. What do we owe this visit today? Oh, great one. Please take our bows and bless them. We have hunted in thy name.
Right. So my name that you're hunting in. Well done. Kudos to you. Keep it up. Good show and all that. I've heard your prayers. Perhaps you could lead us all now in one of these prayers, to show us your fealty and your piety.
Roll a deception check at advantage.
It is, when roll 20 catches up, a 28.
Oh, yes, of course. To where do thou needst us to guide you, sir?
Well, we'll get to that, but I just want. I like the prayers. I like them. Like when you're hunting in my name, lead us in one of those prayers, just so I can make sure that it's done right.
Of course, sir. We three hunters have defended this place from enemies of the realm for what feels like years, sir. We will forever protect this lands under the guidance and the lordship of the great Lord Firemane, sir.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right, I see. There's a case of mistaken identity here, mates. I thought you were 3 other mates who, yeah, I'm not the Banyan. You might, I think that's what this is all about. So, I really, I'm flattered, but I'm not the Banyan.
You're not the Lord?
Nope, I'm certainly one of his faithful servants, like you.
He's been in his presence.
But you take on his visage. You are blessed with his face.
Oh, well, like lots of folks where I'm from look kind of like this.
That's nonsense, Lafcadio. You were just telling us that we were looking for 3 hunters, correct, Kale?
We were indeed.
Killian, a...
Kendallin and Kendril.
Keldian, Killian, and Kendril. That is us. We 3 are those that you seek.
Yeah, we've been divinely guided to find you on our mission. And we'd love to have your assistance. I just don't want you to think that I am, the great Lion King himself. I'm just a servant like you.
Oh. Well, it was the great Nabanyan, as you call him, the great Lord Firemane, who awakened our minds to the great hunt. But we have had little by way of instruction.
Don't I know?
Perhaps he sent you to teach us what we must do. How can we serve the emissaries of the great Lord?
Well, we have a very specific task presently, and we'll start with that. How's that sound?
Of course. They all stand up, bare their chests, hands on hips. We will do what thou hast.
Well done. Good show. All right. We're looking for a tree, but not just any tree. An evil tree. It shouldn't be very far from here, I reckon. But it moves, so it could be anywhere, really. We need to find it and then lure it back that way.
An evil tree. An evil tree that moves. I do not know of many trees that move. I know of many evil trees, but not many that move. Well, we did see one of them. That one that drags, that nasty was turning there. Yes, we did. We have seen, and we think we may know of that which you seek. We were hunting it not a few days ago, were we not? Yes, we were. It is west of our direction, whence we last saw it. Yes. And we can lead you there.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
Great. Let us go.
So I fall back to Raziel. I don't know. I like these guys. I don't know what your problem with them is. They seem quite nice.
They seem to like you. They very much wouldn't stop talking about the hunt before. So good you've managed to get them to switch to something else. Right. They'll immediately jump up and they'll just start leading you off into the woods, westwards of this position. They work as a unit, all 3 of them, doing their survival together. One of them will look specifically for tracks that's leading forward, while the other circles the party quite a few times, and the last one actually leads up the back, making sure that your tracks that you lead are being removed and being hidden as we continue. As a group, they guide you all through. Yes, Taslim?
Are they removing our tracks with like a swishy tail, like behind them?
Let me see which one has the swishiest of tails. We'll say yes. So the leopard one, which is the deep-voiced one that was speaking there. The bigger, beefier one, Kendril, he will be in the background using his thick tail to help clean up certain areas, while he uses his hands to also cover up tracks that you lead. It's the Sphinx Tabaxi that's leading the way. Killian, he is guiding northwards. No, westwards. I keep getting the direction wrong. West, through the trees. Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to sidle up next to that fella.
Killian? Yes. So.
No need for formality, mate. Like I said, I'm a servant just like you. I'm curious. We're with this Fae lady, and she seems to think that you guys are all about the hunt, which, you know, obviously that's kind of the thing we do. I was just curious about the details of that. She seemed to think it was off-putting, so I guess I want to get it from the lion's mouth.
It is true that some people can't withstand the intensity of our drive towards the task we have been given. We will not rest until the entire wilds are free of external influence. And she obviously likes to rest a lot. She slept for a very long time last time we met.
Oh, you guys had history?
We met, yes.
And she slept?
Well, yeah, she would sleep in every morning. Almost 16 hours that she would just sleep and then not... I suspect she was faking and trying to avoid us and avoid hunting with us.
Well, what were you guys hunting together?
At that time, it was shadow creatures. Yes. We were hunting the shadows, and we thought the elf could help us identify the lights and the shadows that were unnatural.
Makes sense.
We had to hunt that thing at nighttime because it would only come out at night, and so she would sleep all day. We didn't get much done.
So I'm going to make a note of that to talk to someone about, because that doesn't sound right. But I guess I just... her the level of disconcertedness she has about your hunt makes me worry that you guys are bullying or doing something like that. Is maybe I've misread it, but are you like picking on folks? What is it you're doing exactly? When you say external influences, you're protecting from external influences. What does that look like in practical terms?
In practical terms, when we've come across evidence of something not from the wilds, in the wilds, we hunt it, we trap it, we learn why it was here, then we kill it. We then try to fix whatever caused them to be here. If it was a portal, we try to close the portal that they stumbled through. If there's more of them, we hunt more of them. If they had evil, nefarious means and intentions, then of course we would hunt it down.
So so like me and my mates, we're not from the Feywild. If I wasn't here, would you be hunting these folks?
If Lord
On the back, he can try.
If Lord Firemane had not blessed your companions with one such as yourself, yes, they would be hunted, questioned, and then removed from existence within the Feywild.
So these folks I've traveled with them for a bit, and they're do-gooders, you know, from top to bottom. You know, they have good goals. I guess I wonder if you were hunting them, and you killed them, then would you have learned that they were here for good purposes?
Well, that's why we trap and we learn. We learn how and why they're here. But if you weren't here, would they be good? Or are they not good because of your influence?
No, mate, they're top-notch, top-shelf mates, to be sure. They have the purest intentions at heart. And they've already saved not only this plane, but multiple other planes from the corrupting influence of evil. I guess.
To date, everything we have hunted has had nefarious evil designs with its entrance into this land. I am sorry if we have done wrong, sir.
I have no idea whether or not you've done wrong, but I guess I would caution the zealotry with which you hunt down these outsiders. I think it's good to get an idea of what folks are doing, but I mean, I know Lord Firemane, he teaches that it's not just about the survival of the fittest. You know, we all have our own talents and abilities, and we all contribute to create things for a greater good. So, and that might mean welcoming people from the outside instead of hunting them or trapping them.
We have not considered that. Thank you. When we were brought to the light, we were in the act of the hunt. We assumed that was divinely appointed. We are sorry.
The hunt is a great calling to, for sure. I guess I would temper it with a bit of patience and wisdom and understanding of the teachings of Nabanian, that we don't just hunt indiscriminately, and we make sure that we're not wasting resources that he might have placed on your path to help you rid the world of evil.
That is... Then the great Lord Firemane has blessed us again with his teachings through you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and I tried the chin thing again and see if that works with him. You're doing great, mate. Keep it up.
Yeah. Right. Continuing on. Yes. Yes.
We're in the Feywild. The Feywild emphasizes emotions, right?
It does. So it's gonna implode almost, explode your emotions. Yeah.
I have the irresistible compulsion to grab Kendril by the head and just give him the most ear squishy little, oh my god, you're just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Nos, that's
He will almost instinctively begin to purr.
Yes.
That's incredibly invasive, Nos.
I can't help it.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
thank you.
You're welcome anytime. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Anything else that you guys are doing?
Oh, I guess I'll drop back to Taslin.
Yeah. Hello there, Lafcadio.
Taslin, I was having a chat with this. Oh, well, and I'll make sure that I'm not right next to Raziel. I'll just
Okay.
try to separate that. Right. So, I was having a chat with these Tabaxi folks, and they seem to think that Raziel is a bit of a sleeper, and it strikes me as odd because I really don't see you sleeping all that much. Is what I know about elves is, you know, not sleeping at all really, and then to the extent that she was sleeping, is she different in that way? Is she the type of elf that sleeps and sleeps for a really, really long time?
I don't believe so.
No, well, these three, they seem to have history with her, and they said that every morning she was sleeping 16 hours. I don't know what that's all about, but I thought I'd mention it to you.
Of course. And how long ago did they travel together? Do you know?
I didn't get the details.
See. Well, I think we can cross off that she's a vampire. So that's always a good thing. And thank you for bringing it to my attention. I will keep my eyes out. And I'm gonna drape Iskar over you. Just bruh.
DM, have we noticed anything like that? That
No.
no. Okay.
You can roll an insight check to see what more you can gather from her demeanor.
My insight is.
Can I assist him?
Yes, because you're giving him ideas about what she's really like.
With
So he has
advantage.
Okay. Most likely it was just she was trying to avoid doing something she didn't want.
And would it be safe to assume, as she was hunting things from the Shadowfell, she may have not wanted to interact with them because of me?
Quite possibly.
Alright.
Yeah. If they were hunting things for the Shadowfell, her history with a creature from the Shadowfell lent her some expertise, and she really didn't want to stumble into you in the Feywild.
Makes sense. I will pat Lefkadio's head and be like, I don't think it's anything to worry about. You are spot on for bringing this up to me between you and me. And you are just a large benefit to our success. Keep it up.
Sounds good, mate.
And then I will also, before he leaves, I will say, if you ever need to go invisible while I have Iskar on you, and I'm within visual range, I may be able to turn you invisible.
Well, that's quite handy. Thanks, mate.
Indeed. You like to rush up to things, so I didn't want you to get squished.
Appreciate it.
Okay. So, you guys continue marching through the woods, and it'll be another 8 hours or so of marching. You're getting right to the end of where you would be comfortable marching through the day, when you come across a large trench deep set into the ground. It is about 20 foot wide. It's 15 foot deep, but it's a domed trench, like something large and round just drug itself through the ground. From the edge of this trench, you can see lots of tiny little holes all throughout the sides, as if something with long tendrils just spiked that large space. They immediately stop and begin, the three hunters begin just testing the ground, sniffing it, looking over things. So I believe this is the path that the creature went. Yes, it did. Yes, it, by the taste of the soil, it is fresh. 15 hours that way.
Everybody does realize here, right, that we're headed towards the longest chase scene of our lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 hours? That's...
What else is
15 hours.
how are we gonna do this?
So, what is the, you want to kind of encourage it to follow you?
We have to drive it back to here, where we entered in the swamp.
And how far away from us was that? If you give him a rough time that you traveled and direction and whatnot, from this position they'd be able to tell you that it will be Quick maths. Estimated 30 hours from this position.
We have to go 15 hours that way.
15 hours that way.
At our speed. So
45
speed.
hours. Yep.
But in theory, we don't have to go all 15 hours that way. If we open up the coffin when we're like 13, it may have a chance of coming towards us.
Correct.
We need someone to scout ahead and make sure that is what is happening. Which I could do, since I have the ability to send back.
And then we have to make...
she can march.
We are particularly quick when left to our own devices. Our agility grants us the ability to run quickly. If you would like, we can scout forwards.
I think one of us should be there.
Can I like whisper up to Kale? Hey, look, I get where you're coming from on that logically. I do think that we can trust these guys though, and I would rather not sacrifice you. I know that you're going to be well hid. Just the less margin for error we have, the less ability we have to lose you, the better. Then I'll go yes and back away.
Well, it's just... We don't need anybody to track the tree at this point, obviously. Easy to find it, right? Mm-hmm. So what if the 5 of us were to go, and the 4 of you stay behind and open the coffin up and just stay with that?
Is it daytime still?
It is. It's late, but yes.
Okay, so they wouldn't be able to open it for another few hours anyways, right?
Well, they could open it as long as they keep the corpse out of direct sunlight.
Okay.
Which you just position the lid right and you should be fine.
And just remind me, isn't the Feywild like always daytime in certain spots or something like that?
It's like
in
Twilight.
certain spots, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like though it is often sunlight and almost all in certain areas very bright. It's not always sunlight, so it might not harm the vampire.
Do we have any way to like waft the scent at a greater degree, like summon a mighty wind?
Kendrill will stand in front of Nos, pull his nice big bushy tail and begin to spin it like a fan. How's that? Does that create the wind that you need?
I'm thinking it needs to be an order of magnitude greater than that, although that is pretty good.
All 3 of them jump together. Sorry, sir.
Very impressive.
We are showmen
like
at
slapping Nossel's hands away. She tries to like...
I don't know if I should slap yours away or not, because I might hurt you.
Keldian here is particularly capable with the land and with the nature. I believe he is capable of summoning up a slight gust. Let me just double check. Yes, in fact he can. Gust is a druid cantrip. So yes. Not going to be much, but it'll be a bit of a gust.
While that whole scene's playing out, I'm going to spend a minute. I'm going to get out a little box with some sort of nondescript bones in it, and I'm going to start rolling them and cast an augury spell over the course of a minute. So instead of a ritual, it'll just be a minute.
Okay.
And I will augury whether or not it would be a good idea to send the 3 of them up by themselves to go get this tree.
I want to say it will have good and bad results, weal and woe, but it will be more emphasis on the woe.
How about...
Yes,
Okay,
it'll work, but the cost will be great.
Right, that's kind of what I was thinking of.
Okay, are you able to use your ability to see great distances? If we open the coffin and like at that moment, you'd be looking at the tree through whatever magical means you have and see if it reacts to it?
I don't know. I suppose I could try and scry on it. If I've met it, it exists in both planes, and I met it in the material plane, then I'm familiar with it at that point. Like I've met it in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I could attempt to scry on it, yeah.
Also, and I'll pop down next to him. Stop me if this is like too much here, but when it comes to summoning a fortress, that's pretty much like we win everything. If we have a defensible location, what if we only stayed a slight bit in front of it and we stopped to rest normally, but we use the temple and we exit and enter through windows instead of the front door, staying in front of it the entire time that way? Is that crazy?
If you're talking about passing
Creating
it.
temples.
I'm talking about all of us
temple.
staying together. And all of us kiting it and pulling it, but stopping for regular rests the way that we would normally if we weren't doing anything. Using the temple as a capacitor, almost. Like a...
And we could coat other stakes with the blood, correct, without expiring the vampire.
Mm.
If we were to stagger a relay, they could switch off targets, reducing the risk to each individual runner.
I'll just say right now, I apologize. That's very logical and intelligent, but I have problems with that. That sounds torturous.
For a vampire.
I know, it's weird. I can't help it.
Well, it might not even be necessary. Like if we open the coffin and Kale's able to see the tree and the tree starts booking it towards us, then we can start heading back now. And we don't need to worry about, these defensive positions or anything like that.
But we can't just assume it's the tree that's going to come after us. It may be anything that this thing has blighted it while in the Feywild.
Me and Wampum will take care of those.
Well, it's 15 hours our speed. So at tree speed, that's much longer probably. I could set up the temple first, and then we can open the thing up. So then we'll have a defensible location if anything else comes after us.
That is so handy that you picked that up.
I prepare it every day.
That's because you're a smart guy.
So I have been told. So I will start doing that, I guess.
Okay.
And I'll explain to the three Tabaxi that we would send you out, but I don't think it would go very well for you guys. So it's better if we all stick together.
They all three in unison turn to look for approval to Lafcadio.
This guy knows what he's talking about. If he says it's not safe for you all, I'd rather have you lot with us.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And I'll get to work on my temple, but it's going to take an hour.
All right. Raziel is going to get to work on unlocking the vampire's cage.
I mentioned to the Tabaxi, mates, all right, what we've got here is a bit of bait for the tree. So don't be alarmed. It is one of the things that you've probably hunted in the past. It's a dead, emphasis on the dead, vampire. Apparently the tree's attracted to this fella. So we've got it incapacitated in the box, and we're going to open up this box to lure it. Just so you're not taken aback when that happens.
Mr. Lafcadio, sir, when we have hunted things in the past, like when we were looking for food, like some great elk, we have often found it useful to coat ourselves in the scent of that which we are using for bait. Should we also do such a thing and coat ourselves with the scent of this bait creature?
You know, it seems like it would be very effective. I would not ask that of you, but I also won't stop you from doing it. If you think that you guys are expert hunters, and I'm not going to tell you how to do your business.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And then I say, well, Kale's busy. I'll ask Teslin. Teslin, it's not going to turn them into vampires if they put vampire blood on them, is it?
I should probably roll some sort of check to find out.
It shouldn't, but you can roll a religion check, history.
Yeah, we'll go with history. Why not? That would be a 14.
Okay. You've never heard of a case of someone turning into a vampire simply by touching vampire blood. You've heard of many cases where staking a vampire in the chest would cause it to gush with a lot of blood, but that has never really caused anyone to turn.
Okay. I don't believe they would turn into vampires by having the blood on them. However, if they are coating themselves with blood and for whatever reason one of them trips or falls behind and the tree catches them, this tree will no doubt be going after anything that smells like a vampire, and it may gain some strength off feeding on them.
Do not doubt, Mr. Taslin, sir. We are the greatest there is. We can avoid falling in the woods. And he does a quick backflip. Hurrah!
Man, if only I had the grease spell prepared. But Taslin will offer a nod, but Taslin's also curious how they knew his name, but that's besides the point. He'll just offer a nod and be like, you do you.
If they would have heard it from another companion. If they didn't, then they wouldn't have called you Taslin.
That's fair.
Mr. Elf, sir. Mr. Gloomy One, sir. Okay. Then, by this point, Raziel will finish unlocking the chains around the cage, pull open the silver-lined box, and inside you will see a fairly short dwarven vampire. Or at least his aesthetics look dwarven. Very stunted body. He looks like he's just asleep, except for the large stake right through the chest. Not even chained up himself, just lying there inside the coffin, just staked. You'll notice when you look at them that a whole portion of dirt has been tucked behind the vampire. Almost like it's laying on a bed of soil instead of against the cage. And as soon as it's open, Keldian will then approach and begin just digging a claw or two into the chest wound, making a point not to move the stake, but will start just covering his fur with a little bit of the blood. Now I smell.
It's topical only. Don't ingest that. It's not. Just keep that on the outside.
It's not kosher.
Go, sir. which Killian and Kendrell will roll their eyes during all of this. I mean, it works for him. But don't worry, I won't do that. I'm not... well, I like to be clean. Right.
Come behind him and head smoosh.
All right. You're building the temple?
Yep.
All right. So, you build the temple. The vampire is now open, and there is a slight scent in the air of just blood that begins to cascade out towards you. Hopefully, it will have detected it. And are you scrying on it to double check?
Yeah.
Once your temple is up?
Yeah, once the temple's up. And the temple's going to oppose elementals and fiends again.
Elementals and fiends, okay.
Yep.
Alright. So,
Then
but even a fiend, even a creature that is not one of those, can't open the door, right?
Right, so everybody that's here... Well, the only people that can open the doors, I'm going to say, are like the core group of people that I know.
Okay.
Open or close, so...
Fair enough. All right. Then, once you scry upon it, sure enough, as you have first-hand knowledge and have met the other version of the tree, you will scry and you will see the other version of the tree. It appears fairly docile. It is sending... you can see it's on the move, but it's moving away from you right now. Its roots begin climbing out of the earth, and then reaching forward a good 30 feet, digging into the ground, and then slowly pulling itself forward, digging this large trench. And it's slow. Its pace is really slow. You can tell that on any particular turn, it would only be able to move 30 feet per turn. That's it. So Nos's idea of always staying just ahead of it will work. As long as no one falls and no one stumbles, you should be able to stay out of its reach. A moment goes by, and then it stops. Its tendrils are up in the air, ready to reach forward, and then it stops. You watch the back seem to just lift up a little bit, almost like shoulder blades opening out. And then it twists and slowly turns towards your direction. Now, you fed the material plane version. So this version of it looks almost identical, except it is bigger. And in its main trunk area, it has split in many directions, almost looking like a large facial structure. So you can see eyes that glow a reddish tint, a large mouth that stretches. It's still contained within branches, but it stretches itself regularly as it breathes in the scent very, very strongly, licking its bark-like lips. It then turns and begins to drag itself back towards you.
All right. I let everybody know.
Yep.
Yes, it is headed this way.
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
Now, yep, go ahead.
All right. So we got the impression that the tree passed this area 15 hours ago.
Yes.
Right. All right. Kale, mate, do you know how, at its current pace, do you know how far away it is and how long it would take to get to where we are now?
I imagine it'd be kind of impossible for me to tell exactly how far away it really is.
What you would be able to figure out, though, from their calculation that this soil was tainted 15 hours ago, you can reckon that, well, it got as far as it is at 15 hours. So 15 hours back will bring it here. Probably it's less than that for you guys to travel to its position. For you, it would be close to 7 or 8 hours worth of travel to get to where it is right now. But for the tree, it'll get here in 15 hours. It'll then get from here to where you need to be, which is, as we said, 30 hours, it will take it 60.
All right. Well, then we can rest at ease tonight, right? There's no risk of it knocking on our door.
Not if it's already late in the day, right? So
Correct.
yeah, we should be fine. We should definitely still keep watches, though, of course. But
Yes, Scar will be outside of the temple.
Okay.
yeah,
All right. So you guys rest on this this evening. Once again, undisturbed since you're inside the temple. There will be creatures that will come and inspect, but nothing too nefarious right now. You guys will wake up unless there's anything you want to do during the night. Nope. Okay. Then, as you wake up, this is 8 hours later. The tree is probably halfway towards you. 7 hours, and it'll catch up with you and your current position. You pack up and start heading out, or are you doing anything else?
Water breathing on everybody.
yeah. Obviously, I did aid on me and Tazlin and Edra again.
That's 18 or 15.
15. And everybody gets 11 from Lafcadio of temp. But yeah, I don't know. Preparing the same spells.
Raziel, being that she's woken up today, she will have woken up as a summer, eager and very, I don't want to say angry, but eager. She doesn't have spellcasting capabilities today. Okay. All right.
Oh, well.
So you guys start making your way out. The 3 hunters will. You'll notice as they're packing up and getting ready to go that they've begun trying to emulate Lafcadio's demeanor and behavior quite a bit. They're putting on a performance to look a little bit like him. In fact, all of them have tried to style what little fur they have to look like his. They don't have much. They're very short-haired, and the Sphinx one has nothing. But you do find them regularly just pushing their hair back as they. All right, but out on the hunt, you guys are going to move at what kind of a pace? Normal pace would have you moving away from this thing further than it can travel. Slow pace would have you travel its pace. What'll you do?
Might as well go to normal pace. Once I set up the temple, it stays there for 24 hours. So
Yeah, and we know it can smell it. It can smell the vampire from up to 15 or 16 hours away. So as long as we don't get farther than that ahead of him, we should be fine.
yeah, yeah. So if we get a little bit of distance on it, then that's better because then we can rest and stuff.
Okay. So if you guys travel at a normal pace today, you will cover another 8 hours of your travel and be, what would it be? That would be 16 hours away from it as it's moved in. So it'll be at about that point over the course of this day. So moving at that pace. Right. Wampum.
I
With your unnatural, incredible passive perception, you will notice, not alone, you will notice before anyone else that as you guys are making your way through the woods, through the trees that you're in, you'll pass by an area that seems like it has been tainted by the tree previously, and you will spot the trolls before anyone else does. So you'll spot them about 120 feet away from them. There are 2 of them, very large trolls in front of the party.
okay.
What are you doing?
I will let everybody know trolls ahead.
How far ahead? Where?
Straight ahead, off the path. Maybe 100 feet ahead.
I'm going to drop a fireball on them when we're ready.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great.
If we maximize the range, if we say 150 feet away, I can hit them with it, and we may get another round of me hitting them before they can get to us. If we set up ambush points with any archers, we could presumably take pot shots at them as they run towards us.
Okay. If you want to, if you're going to hunt him down, if you're going to attack him, then I'll have everyone roll for initiative, as you are 100 feet away from them, roughly. Yeah, about that. When you first noticed them.
I'll say, Wampum, have they noticed us? Are they coming to hunt us? Or are they just traveling willy-nilly like they are not aware of us?
They are not aware.
Well, too late. We are in kill mode.
Today. Alright. Let me just pull in 3 tokens that'll represent our good buddies, the Hunters 3.
There were 2 trolls, not 3?
There are 2 trolls.
Sure.
Did I say 3? Would you like a third?
No, thank you.
Alright.
Yeah, sure, we can take them.
You sure? Alright.
I'm positive.
Okay. So I have John with so Wampum with the 20. There we go. So Graham, Taslin.
Yep, 18.
And you in with an 18. Who
And
else am
would I
missing
be
on
able
the
to
turn
act
order?
before we take the initiative?
No,
Because they haven't
your act
noticed us?
will be on the
Okay.
initiative. They will just be surprised.
Okay.
I got a 15, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bear with me. Sorry. Okay. The Hunters 3 will all act on the same initiative.
1, 2, 3.
And Kale goes on 15, did you say?
Yes, that is what I said. And I meant it, god damn it.
Good. Good. Glad you meant it. Alright, let me roll for these creatures. They are surprised, so you all do get a surprise opportunity on them. Come on.
For once, we're not the ones being ambushed.
Nope.
Ooh, boy.
Come on. There we go. 19. That's not bad. Right. Where is Raziel's token? Why hasn't it appeared on the screen?
It used to be there. I think you might have covered it with one of the tabaxi.
I was removing the spring version to bring in the summer one.
Ah.
Because she looks a little bit different today. There we go, 21. Nice. All right, so top of the round will be Nos. Okay, so Taslin is getting ready to throw a fireball. You can act just that little bit quicker than they.
Is this map like roughly terrain wise?
Yeah,
Okay.
roughly. Gnarled tree in the middle. Ignore the big, nasty-looking tree.
Okay, I will sneak. And I will sneak to there. You let me know whether or not I need to roll a sneak check.
Yes, you will need to roll a sneaky check.
Okay. As a nat 20, 28.
You are sneaky.
I'm very sneaky.
You are very sneaky. All right. Anything else from you, Nos?
Nope.
All right. Raziel shall also sneak. And struggle to do so. She'll move forward 30 feet. I'm I'm sorry.
Shush.
Sorry. Wampum.
I am going to hold my action until Taslin throws his fireball, which then I will throw my axe.
Okay. Do you have the range on that?
Yeah, it was up to 120 feet.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. Then you hold your action to do that. The trolls end their turn no longer surprised, and Taslin gets
Fireball.
to throw his fireball.
Yep, so it'll be right to catch both of them, like right there.
Okay. So let's roll that dexterity saving throw from them. Always whisper. So, two of them, I have a 6 and a 12. I believe both of them will fail.
They will.
Okay, as the entire area just explodes in a torrent of flame, these two trolls all turn to look at you. Go ahead and roll the damage.
26.
26, nice. All right. Anything else from you?
Nope, I can't fall back any further because the map's too small. So I'll stay where I am.
Good. All right, Kale.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw my axe.
Oh, yes, sorry, yes. I apologize. Wampum uses his reaction to throw his axe. It goes and it explodes as well.
Yes.
All right. 2 more dex saves. Both succeeding that time.
Yeah, figures.
How much damage do they take?
That'd be half. That would be 11 points.
Okay. Nice. They're now practically on fire. Anything else? Well, that was your reaction, so we go with Kale. Kale.
So you said
What are you
this map is pretty representative of how the terrain is. So there's like actually a hill there, and there's actually trees where there's trees.
There's
and
actually a tree. There's actually a hill. There's trees everywhere except for the big gnarl tree in the middle. That is a flat plain.
Okay. So I could like see over it.
Yep.
All right, then I'm not gonna move because I'm close enough to shoot a firebolt. Woo! I will level my. Wait, what is that? Oh, it's just a no tree there.
That's
Draw
ignore.
attack.
I thought it was a darkness spell. I was like, oh shit. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna just shoot a regular old firebolt out of the Healy mace while holding it like a lance at the right troll on the right. And I'm gonna roll this d20, and it was a 10, and I have plus 10 to hit, so it's a 20 total.
That's going to hit.
Hooray! I'm gonna roll 3 d10s now, everybody. Narration will continue as required.
Now, when you say you're holding it like a lance, does that mean you're putting the handle underneath your armpit?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Pew pew.
And I rolled a 10 and a 6 and a 3, so that's 19 total fire damage.
19 total fire damage. Nice.
Nice. And that's I'll move up a little. I'll get up to here on Edra. That's it.
Okay. All right. The Hunters 3 will go out in 3 different directions. Using their actions to dash. Lafcadio, what do you do?
I will move up so that I am, well, I want to be 60 feet away from wherever this is. Alright, so that's, I'm going to go there. Wherever. So I'm real close to Doss. I know she's not going to like me jumping out in front of her, but I'm not too far. I'm not too far from her, so she can get back out in front of me. Alright, so then, once I'm there, I will cast Flame Strike in between those 2 trolls.
Okay.
Flames seem to be the order of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a dex of 20. 20 to save for that.
And both of them, what does Flame Strike... We don't get Flame Strike that often. What does Flame Strike specifically do?
That causes a pillar of flame to erupt. Trying to catch them both.
Okay.
But it's not just regular flame.
Oh, yeah. It's a bit extra. There's 46 fire damage and 46 radiant damage. And because my patron is of the celestial variety, I can add another 5 on one of those rolls for one of those targets. So it's a total of 25 damage, both of them, and another 5 for one of them, provided they both fail the dex saves.
They both did fail their dex saves. All right. Any preference over which one takes the extra 5?
I guess the one that Kale has taken an extra shot at.
All right. So it's just that little bit extra bulbous with all the fire damage that it's taken so far. It's now growing sores that are exploding. Blisters.
And just another special request. Can you zoom one in so we can get a good look at him?
Yes. I'm using the dire troll creature image for this because it's the best thing I can see to represent a mutated troll. It has these 3 heads, far too many arms, one sticking out the back that does pretty much nothing, while the rest of them flurry about with their extremely long, sharp claws.
The one in the back just flips people off.
Yep. As it's running away. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, though, right? Because it's kind of like the whole Deadpool thing where he has cancer because he keeps regenerating so much.
Yep.
So
And so he's regenerating more than he should have.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And that will end my turn.
All right. Nos.
I will get up in front of Lafcadio, and I think that I'm close enough now. I want to say, given the rate at which the tree is moving, and the time, my mouse is not working. Yes. And the time in which we projected it's going to take to get to us, I feel like this may be the most vile thing we're going to come across today. So I will go ahead and burn my soul, and I will go to Zan.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, holy crap.
Now you know why I don't do it all the time.
Burn my soul, Kaioken, times 100.
Okay. What's the radius on your burning soul? 10 foot, right?
Huh? No, it's a thing that happens to me. I gain wings and my eyes go...
Yes, but doesn't
Crazy.
your radiant soul also harm those within 10 feet of you?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a different kind of ASMR, I suppose.
Kind. Fair enough. All right, so you explode with radiant glory. You now have these big, big, beautiful wings. They are in the Feywild, made even more beautiful.
Nice. Cool. And I'll just float there, eyes blazing, like, come at some. Come get some, and come at me.
You'll hear a cat call come from south of you. All right. Then, if there's nothing else from you, Nos?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Raziel will mutter to herself, I wish I had wings. How can a girl compete with that? Right. Pulling out a longbow, she'll step out behind a little cleft in the rock, and will also fire at the one that everyone seems to be focusing their individual attention towards. And being that she is Summer, hey, that hits, and deals 11 piercing and 7 points of fire damage. So, that's neat. 18 points of damage there. That'll end her turn. Wampum.
Wampum will come to here. And let's see how far we are. That's good. Alright, throwing at the one on the left. First throw.
At this distance, that would be a disadvantage, wouldn't it?
60 feet.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And that was a net 1 on the first throw.
It's going to miss.
And the second throw is going to be a 22 for 13.
That'll hit.
Third throw is a 18 for 17.
Also a hit.
I am going to action surge.
Of course you are. Yep.
And a 27 for 15 points of damage.
All right. Chunks of this creature's flesh just flying off.
Second throw is a 17 for 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And lastly, we have a 26 for 17 points of damage.
All right. You just carve cleanly through this one. One of its arms even falls off as a result of that barrage of slashing attacks. Anything else, Wampum?
That is it.
Okay. Right. Well, we have the dire trolls who will charge. Nos, are you in the air or are you still on the floor?
I'm about 5 feet off the ground. It's not that much.
So it could reach you if it could reach you.
Yes.
Okay.
It could if it could.
Totally.
What if it could? But it can't.
Well,
Or can it?
Too fast.
as it charges towards you, it leaps up onto that plateau, and it is going to start whirling its arms around, attacking everything and everyone that's around it. I need the 3 of you, so that'll be... oh yeah, you're attacking it when it gets within 10 feet of you. Yep. That's a 13 to hit, right?
Right.
That will miss, unfortunately. Yeah. But I need Raziel, Wampum, and Nos to all roll dexterity saving throws.
Do you think that this would fall under my danger sense? Or is that...
Yes, it
okay.
would.
Cool. 23.
Okay. Dexterity save. Okay, so looks like we got a 23, a 23, and a 25. You picked the 3 worst creatures to whirl at. Okay. You guys all succeed the save, taking half damage. And the half damage that you take is going to be 26 points of slashing damage. Are you raging, Nos?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so 26 points of slashing damage to each. Okay. So that's one. The other will charge forward and actually dash towards the horse, which will have it charging in, through, and past the 2 hunters who had weapons out, so they will slash away at this creature. Okay. Both of those will hit, and they will hurt. Okay. Taslin.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's a good question. I will toll the dead on this nearby troll.
Okay.
And he needs to make a save of wisdom.
And he succeeds
Okay.
with a 25.
Wow. He's smart. Then I'll move 30 feet up.
Okay. Kale.
So Kale doesn't like trolls. He's had bad experiences with trolls. and I'm going to draw a shape because he's going to kind of panic and throw out a spell. I could just draw a rectangle. There we go. So he's going to throw up, as this troll's charging at him, like this giant, especially trolly troll with more troll, like 35% more troll per troll. He's gonna cast a very high level spell to make it stop attacking him, and that spell is called something. Hold on, Firestorm.
Okay.
So a bunch of friggin' I don't know if I can copy and paste things because I have to make this very carefully because it's 10 by 10 squares, right? I think
10 by 10 squares. Would you like a little token that'll represent the 10 by 10 squares?
Let's do that. Let's just duplicate me a bunch of times or something. Put a red dot on them.
Well, I shall give you a small ring of fire. Ring of fire.
I fell into a ring of fire. My name is Johnny. I'm on fire.
I don't think that's how that goes.
So,
all right.
I'm going to give you control over it.
Cool.
And where would you like to put it?
Well,
I'm going to just give you 10.
So,
this slows down the screen too much.
Well, it's up to 10, so I really only need 4. Because then I reach this other one.
Well, there you go.
So, just all these 4 sheets of flame just burst out of the sky, go on both of these trolls, and they need to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Which are of a DC of 18.
All right. I've got a 6 and a 12.
Great. I'm going to roll 7d10 of fire damage.
Okay, you roll those 7d10.
And that happens to them. They take 30 total fire damage. It seems kind of low. I rolled 3, 2, 3, 3, 1, 8, and 10. Wow. I would like to re-roll. I have a lot of levels in Evocation Wizard that I never told you about.
All right.
Or something. I don't know. All right. I get 46 officially.
Yeah. Well, no, that was my roll. That's what happens to you.
Oh, okay.
Right. Anything else from you?
Edra will disengage and go, away from there. Back here.
How long do the walls of fire last?
Oh, they just appear and then they go away, I think.
Oh.
Let me double check before they get deleted, though. Blah, 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 instantaneous. It doesn't last. The fire damages objects in the area and ignites flammable objects that aren't being worn or carried.
So now the forest is on fire.
I can choose to not affect plant life in the area, though. So.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's a cool flex, Like, I could just drop all this fire down and, not actually light things on fire that I don't feel like it.
Okay, fair enough. Anything else from you, Kale?
No.
All right. The hunters move on in, slashing away as they do. One will keep at range. Okay. That was probably really loud. I do apologize. Okay.
Button.
Someone's
We have a
gonna come
request to
walking in. It's
move
2
the
a.m.
map down a little bit.
Move the map down.
Or,
Maybe
zoom it out.
Or, yeah.
Zoom it out. Fair enough. Maps. All right. So that will hit. That will hurt. Some of them will hit. Some of them won't, though. the hunter up the top, which happened to be, which one was it? That was Killian. Okay, so Killian, as he struck it with its arrow, you saw the arrow actually exploded into a whole mass of vines that wrap around the troll. It doesn't grab the troll. The troll manages to break free, but he tried. Lafcadio.
Right, so I'll see this troll to the south. It's getting really close and has bypassed the wall that is Nos in Wampum. So I will bring out my whip, coat it in green flames. No? Okay.
Green flames!
Thank you.
Green flames!
And then I will hit that fella one time with my whip for a 30 to hit.
Ah, damn.
30 is going to hit.
It's 20 necromantic damage from my... Oh, I forgot to mention I was also hexing him. Can I retroactively hex him?
So you were casting Hex as a bonus action and then an action casting Green Flame Blade?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Thank you. So yeah, 20 of necrotic from my life drinker and from and then hex and the fire and then 10 slashing, and then on top of that I will also use my Eldritch Smite to really let him know that he's not welcome this close to me and my cat mates. So that is an extra 25 force damage, and if he is of a size which is huge or smaller, he is knocked prone as well.
Okay. It is important for me to know how much of that 20 was necrotic and how much of that was fire.
Okay.
I think it was 6 necrotic and 9 fire, and then whatever life drinker is. I don't know.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So 11 necrotic, 9 fire.
Okay. So you deal 19 plus 25, so 44 points of damage, and then you heal it as well. Okay, cool.
And I just want to
notice necrotic damage on this causes it to heal.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yes?
Just a quick note. He just did the same amount of damage with a cantrip that I did with a 7th level spell.
Yeah.
It's okay, Kale. That's how I
It's not
felt
okay.
That's how I felt upcasting Blight the other day, dealing for like 80 damage.
It's alright. Hex blades. Alright, so you deal a lot. So you deal a 44, and then you heal. Okay. Cool. That thing is heavily weakened by that attack, and heavily enraged by it as well. Anything else from you, Lafcadio?
Well, he should be prone, and I am going to scoot back a little bit more, noticing the aforementioned ragedness.
Okay. Even while prone, he will attack you. He'll use his reaction to make... Nope, you got mobile feet.
Yeah.
You happen to have... Yep, you've also got that feat. Okay. So, then he can't. Anything else from you, Lafcadio?
That's it.
Okay. Nos, what are you doing?
I fly up into the air and I do like a little back roll, and then I start flying backwards, and I will go for the one that Lafcadio's already bitten into here.
Okay, so you leave that top one's melee range.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It will attack you.
I would like to rage first. I apologize. I meant to say that.
Okay. Right. That is a 19 to hit you as you try to run away.
Mm-hmm.
That'll hit. Okay, you'll take 21 points of slashing damage. Halved to 10 because you're raging.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Alright. Glaive strike number 1 is a critical 32.
Alright.
Wow, that's a big critical. That's 16 plus 19 slashing.
35.
Oh, thank you.
And your radiant stuff is on top of that as well?
Yeah, 8 plus 9 radiant damage, and then an additional 13 radiant for the soul thing.
30 radiant.
The radiant soul is not die, is it?
No.
It's just numbers. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's quite a lot. And roll a d100. So many nat 20s today.
Another 85.
Hey.
He grows branches and trees and leaves and
He
stuff.
starts growing trees. Yep.
Entire trees.
Yeah.
Okay. As he also sprouts, this time because things are weird in the Feywild, those sprouting leaves are all vibrantly purple. UV sensitive too, so they seem to glow just a little bit more. All right. Anything else, Nos?
Yeah, that was
That was
just
your
one
first
attack.
attack.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Second nat 20.
Oh,
That's a 19.
No.
It's a nat 19.
so I don't roll for the Glaive of Wonder, but that's still a critical. So that's
Go ahead.
29 points of damage.
Okay. That is going to kill that thing.
Is it?
Yeah, that's going to tear it to pieces. How do you want to kill it?
Well, let's see. I did 2 attacks. One of them was particularly rough. I will lop 2 out of the 3 heads off with the initial attack. And I'll be like, oh, missed one, my bad, and come back around. Get the third one.
As you swing the third one around to lop off the head, it actually instinctively goes in to try and bite the blade, and you cut through its mouth, cutting its head off. It's still got its teeth wrapped around your blade as your blade comes out past.
Nice.
So you kind of have to shake the head off of it, but that's a dead troll.
Great. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before, and I'm going to flip in the air and do another backstroke, and then I'm going to spend my action surge to attack this other one.
Okay.
The map just went black too.
That's it. That's it. No more.
You might want to refresh, John. We can still, or I can still see
Yeah,
it.
we're good.
20 is going to hit there, Nos, as will that 22.
So
No.
that's
Okay.
so that's 17 slashing on top of 16 slashing.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
All right. You used your bonus action this time? Yeah, you did.
To rage, yeah.
Then we move to Raziel. Still very impressed. She's going to step forward, and she's actually going to cast a spell at this thing. Since no, she isn't. This form doesn't have the spells. As a spring Eladrin, she could have cast a fun little spell there, but nope. She's just going to slash it twice with the longsword. 27 will hit. The 12 will not. So 14 plus 3. Okay. Then we go to Wampum. This thing is heavily wounded. It is heavily injured. You may be able to finish it off. It's taken enough fire damage that you're fairly sure it'll die as soon as it dies.
Wampum will go up next to Raziel.
Yep.
First swing and this one's prone, correct?
No, this one is not prone.
Okay. 22 for 10 points of damage.
Okay.
We got a nat 1. I've been rolling nat 1s tonight. And the third attack is a 31 for 11 points of damage. And I
think you've rolled as many nat 1s as Nos has rolled nat 20s, so you're a team.
And I want him to roll. This is a troll, though.
Yep.
A wisdom saving throw, DC 18.
That is a failure with a 17.
Okay.
So what happens to it?
It's going to take an extra 6 points of damage, and I am goading it, which it is going to have disadvantage on any attacks other than me.
Okay. Is there anything else from you then?
That's it.
All right, in which case it is going to make all 5 attacks against you.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is a 24 to hit
That hits.
for 8 piercing and 10 poison.
All right, the poison, though.
You're resistant to.
Right.
All right, so you take 5 points of poison.
Okay.
And then 4 claw attacks.
Okay.
27,
Hits.
29,
Hits.
23,
Miss. Oh, no, hits.
and the fourth one is a 30.
That will all hit.
Okay. So that'll be totals out to be 80 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
The scratch.
But a scratch to his over 200, right? No,
No, I'm at. Normally, I'm at 173.
on 73. All right.
I am
Taslin.
down to
Yeah.
65.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna upcast good old Scorching Ray to a 5th level and cast it on this bad boy and see if I can take it down.
Okay.
So that's 6 Scorching Rays. A 20, a nat 20, so a 30, which is a nat 20. Set that aside. A 24, a 27, an 18, a 13, and then just a 10 plus 10, which is 20.
Okay. So 6 out of those 7 hit, with one of them being a crit.
Alright, 3, 4, 5.
So I'm going to stop you there before you really do.
Okay.
I'm going to let you roll them so you can feel awesome and see how much
I
incredible
mean, I'm
damage you
assuming this
deal.
thing is close to dead. I'll just narrate how I do it.
Yeah, it's
I
like
upcast it to
fireworks with the
Yeah.
amount of extra shots of flame that come casting your way. One of them will go off slightly askew, but what do the rest of them do?
Alright, so 3 of them, one will go after each head, and it'll just like blast one into smithereens, like engulfing it in flames. Second one will get the back head, third one will get the front head, then 2 on the arms, and then one will just shoot that little last arm off and engulf it in flame.
It's still flipping you the bird as you do.
Yeah. And Taslim's just gonna go, maybe they should have leaved us alone.
Oh. Ooh.
Well done. Well done. Alright. With the trolls dead, furiously destroyed, you guys can continue your chase away from this dire tree that's following you. It's slowly, menacingly making its way closer towards your location, digging a deep cut through the ground. It'll take you, well, it'll take it still at least another, I think at this point, 2 days to get to the site that you were at. You guys, it would be less for you if you were moving at full pace, like at your normal pace, but you're kind of staying back every now and then to let it chase after you, let it catch up. But we will rejoin the adventure next week as our heroes lure the vicious tree blight to its final destination. So tune in next time, guys, to all that we do. Please do not forget to check out everyone's social media. Every one of these fine people are incredible at what they do and all the things that they do. And especially Carl for all the work he puts into keeping the stream running, and all of our wonderful artwork by Casey. Now, before we dash off, does anyone have any of their own stuff they would like to plug?
guys.
I will
Okay.
go.
Yep.
I can also be found on the Greyhawk channel on Fridays. That will be at 5 p.m. EST. It's called The Old Faith, and it's a bunch of witchy stuff in the Greyhawk universe. I play a Barbadgeran, a halfling Barbadgeran. That's fun. I got Wolverine claws. That's great. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, don't forget to follow us as a group on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. You can go ahead and follow and subscribe to all of our wonderful things. Every little thing that you do helps and supports us to do what we enjoy doing. And we hope we do stuff that you enjoy too. Thank you very much, guys. Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Later.